Welcome to the Nomad Network, your first stop for complete and comprehensive Chicago Bears football coverage. Dive deep into analyses, updates, and all things Bears. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today and never miss a beat. Thank you in advance for your support. We promise to bring you the best because together we're unstoppable. Go Bears.
Yo, no maniacs. Welcome to the show. Welcome to some extra sauce, man. We got for all the people that come to this show, particularly. I know you guys come here for a certain thing, a certain variety of things, but got a special one for you tonight because for the people that always say it takes too long to get to the Bears or we don't have enough Bears, people that tell us that in the comment section, this show is for you because guess what? Tonight's a special one. We going all Bears tonight. And because it's just a frenzy around the fan base right now, activity happening. They got pads on going into the second week of practice. A couple things we need to be talking about, man. Some guys that are really standing out, some bad news and some really good news too. So we're going to cover it all. Hopefully, fellas, let's just stay when we get onto a topic. Let's just stay there because I don't want to jump and supersede what we have planned for tonight, man. So there's plenty of stuff to talk about. There's plenty that we can talk about each individual, man, but we're going to get there tonight. It's going to be a good one, man, because there's plenty of good to talk about today, man. So without further ado, let me go and pass the rock on over to Canada. I don't even know. I'm just going to give him a straight pass and see what happens.
You're muted.
See, of course. That's the way we start a show, or at least the way I start a show. Anyways, check 1, 2, making sure everything's live and direct and good. Good to have y'all with us. Shout out to big old Dan Brown out there, and Ben Williams is with us. Big ups to all y'all. And, welcome to a Bears flavored extra sauce. It'll taste like pizza and hot dogs. In any event, we're gonna get deep into it, get right into all that Bears stuff. Been a bunch of Bears noise out there, and I have a bone to pick with Nomad, which is not surprising, but I'll pick that bone as we go here and get deep into this Bears thing.
Oh shit! Yeah, picking bone.
I do. You just wait for it. But without any further ado, I'll throw it down to my boy right underneath me, Triple R. What it do, my bro? What's going on?
Cool. I guess everything's working. My interwebs is connected and such, and tech is beautiful when it works, but when it don't work, you really notice it because it's like, well,
can you turn down your volume a little bit?
My volume?
Yeah, your volume just a little bit.
Okay, I haven't adjusted my volume, and
it just might be just my end.
Somehow I think it's your end because I'm not hearing nothing. Everything seems to be good. What it do, Shad, man? Good. Oh, Shad's in.
What up, Shad?
What up, Shad?
I can relate, Shad. We'll get to some of that there for sure tonight. Trip, you know what? If tech worked, for the longest time I'd be an unemployed man and likely flat broke. So, I'm quite glad that it's one of those things that generally requires a technician. Been one of them for many years and made a lot of money doing it. So shout out to broken shit.
Yeah, but when it like I say, when it don't work, it throws a whole monkey wrench in everything. So you can't expect everything to work all the time, every time. Sure, there's failures and difficulties, but those are a real pain in the tuchus.
Man, I got some great tech support stories, man, but I'll save them for another extra sauce. We keeping it Bears tonight.
Well, I've had tech support problems just being a salesman, bro. Just walking up in people's house and the cat lady she's gonna make you sit down with all that fucking fur all over the place, and she can't figure out how to work her remote or something, anything, man. It's just like come on, man, I'm just here to sell you stuff. I'm not here for all that shit. But all you gotta do is walk into somebody's house with somebody's company name on it. Think you can fix everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'd swear up and down that I could, and I probably actually could. And I
You
get
know,
that stuff.
but you be in the wrong household. Sometimes you go in there to sell them some stuff, and it's like you worried about the cockroaches jumping on you.
Oh man, bro.
It may be
Right.
worse than that, but yeah, that has things have happened along those lines. I got some good ones, man. I got some.
I got bed bugs from my 4:30 earlier yesterday.
Damn.
Bro, you gotta definitely be careful whose house you walking into, bro. For real, for real.
Critters like fresh blood.
Mm-hmm.
I made it my business after a while, man, after seeing enough stuff. Never sit down on nobody's couch. Never let nobody ingratiate you that well to where you got to be sitting on their shit. Nah.
Shad says trips. Call Press Taylor if you have an IT issues. Press Taylor will straighten you right out.
Yeah, Press Taylor, he's just kind of along for the ride, looks like.
Well, that's
He
what
tries to
everybody thought
contribute where
Declan
he
Gore was
can.
doing, too.
He's trying to, contribute where he can and be a team player and all, but this is Ben Johnson's world.
That's right.
Hey, you know what?
Have it any other way, by the way.
You know what's funny about that is the people you work for. Like if you were to itemize the different people that you worked under for a long time, you can pinpoint who the micromanagers are. Pretty easily through your history, man. Some people just micromanage, man, and don't leave a whole lot of latitude for other people to, fill in blanks. They just do it all.
Well, somehow, but that doesn't seem to strike me as how Ben Johnson gets down, though. He has, not to get ahead of the conversation, but all the way through, Richard Hightower said that Ben Johnson sat in on, those meetings. But as head coach, that's something that you got to be privy to, and you got to have an understanding of what's going on in every one of those rooms. It's not that he's trying to take over and say, well, I think these guys should be running this way or blocking down that way. It's, what are you doing? What's your plan to succeed? All right.
I don't think it's that at all, Trip. I think he's just anal and wants it done a certain way.
Well,
and you have to insist on that
the right way.
Yeah, so that the little things don't get brushed over. So I understand coaches like that. And so, my college coach was like that, man. He just anal. He wasn't one of those people who was popping up in every meeting or anything like that, but he would pop. He'd stick his nose in there every now and again, but you wouldn't hear him while he was sitting there.
Before we get away from it, speaking of anal, after Kids has his Festivus moment, I have one as well.
Oh no, okay. Oh,
all right, but go ahead, carry on.
How about this, man? How was y'all's week, man? How we doing?
Yeah, it was a regular week, man. The wife went camping, which means I didn't, because I'm not about that, that kind of life, man. I like a hotel with a hot tub. That's what I'm about. I'm not trying to go out and rough it for no good reason, for the sake of roughing it. I might go fishing. I might go walking in the park and stuff, but I want to come back home and sleep my GD bed, or at least a nice bed. I'm not trying to have back problems the following day. That's just me. But she went out, she had some fun. Meanwhile, I was here just doing my thing. My son is knee deep into restoring this old Honda Civic, so that was his story this week. And my daughter just been painting and drawing and doing artsy stuff. Meanwhile, I just kicked it, man. I just had a good time chilling. No big deal. Nothing too special.
Yeah, right on. Everything's chill on this end. The status quo, like I say, sometimes is not a horrible thing. But let's just say the week that is to be had. Congratulations, Darnell Wright.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that one.
Where do you want to start?
Well, hold on.
His week.
Transcendent Fool 33 says, well, I'll tell you what, we'll try to circle back to that. I saved your comment, your question rather. Me this week, I had it's been a long week. several days, man. My girlfriend was on vacation last week, and then my mother's birthday came right after that. It was her birthday, then my mother's birthday, and then it's been a lot to just say that. But I've also been trying to tackle what I've been needing to take care of over there, and I just finished a log cabin, basically trying to chop it down. Man, it took me a week to do this thing, and I'm telling you, bro, I can't wait till this job is over. That's all I can tell you.
Well, I have one question for you, for the two of you, as well as the entire chat. Here we go. Why the fuck Don Burr think we give a shit about what's going on in Lions camp? Sorry, I love you, Don, and all that. But
what's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Give a rat's ass what's going on in Lions camp. I don't need Lions camp updates. But thank you.
They better get right with they better get right with God, and that is number 0.
Leave Donna alone.
They better get right.
I'm sure he gonna want his money because Gibbs got paid. I'm not Gibbs. I'm sorry, Bijan. Robinson got paid, and so I'm sure Gibbs is like, yeah, that number. I want more than that.
Well, that's how it works. And facts.
They ain't going nowhere.
He better than Bijan. I can't even front on this one. He's a damn good back. Y'all need to.
He's
pay
probably
him.
the best player in the league, man.
I agree with that. Like I agreed with that even before he was.
And as a running back, he needs to get his paper now. NOW.
That's the case. If I was his agent, I'm making that case. I can make the case statistically that this is the best player in the NFL.
You will not hear arguments from me, man.
And that's exactly the time you want your contract negotiations to be going down.
Man, I don't. But Don, you swept us last year and wound up in 4th place in the NFC North. Like, who gives a rat's ass if you sweep?
Hey, all right, leave Donna alone. Leave Donna alone.
You guys won the Super Bowl, Don. Like,
hey man, hey Don, I'm gonna keep it. But I've been saying it for months now. We're a better team, but we got to whoop y'all's ass this year. That's the linchpin right there. That's the measurement stick. We got to kick y'all's ass. We got to get y'all back for that shit. Just being honest with you.
Man. I'm fine with how this is gonna shake out, man. I have a good understanding of how this is gonna go.
We got our own issues.
Here's the time if you want to pick a bone, whatever that bone is, before we get going.
Oh, with you?
Yeah, what happened?
We gonna get we gonna get into it, and you're gonna see what the bone is. Like, you're gonna see what it is when we get there.
Is it Bears related?
Yeah, for sure it's Bears related. 100 billion% is Bears related. We gonna get there.
How would you?
I don't want to derail the show. I'll let it play out the way it's gonna play out.
What about you, Trip? You still got a bone?
I do, and it is in the form of video, which is about 15 seconds. Hold on, let me get it pulled up over here.
Pulling up video. It's live on the show again.
Oh yeah, it's nothing. It's muted. It's nothing copyrighted. There's no music. Hold on. There's Hold on. There we go. All right, now I got to come back here. Now I got to come over here. Now I will share our screen. And now I understand that this coaching staff is striving not toward, let's say, perfection, but perfection. And they want things done the appropriate way. So now, as someone who's done this, I want you to tell me what's wrong with this picture right now. Are you seeing this?
Up, down.
Now, we were having this conversation with Samo a couple weeks ago about up downs. And the way these up downs were done, look at this. He's not going all the way up. He's not chopping his feet in between. He's not lifting his head. That should not count as an up down. And so my question is, as players, as coaches, are we going to be settling for this mediocrity?
his ass tired. I just want to know what part of practice they asked him to do that, because I give him some grace if it was like late in the practice at the end, his legs is dead. So that's the context we don't know. If it's at the beginning of the practice, ain't no excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So
Because
he messed up.
there was no choppage, there was no up, there was just down and kind of down and kind of and it's like no sir,
I'm
no sir,
laughing.
run it again.
Well, I mean, who's got the whistle there? You know what I'm saying? Like he was hitting his belly pretty often and pretty fast, and he didn't really have time to chop. He's like,
all right. If I'm laughing because Trip shared this with us earlier in the week, and when you shared it, I went right to the actual tweet, and there's Trip's comment, and the comment above it was like, he did 40 up downs, and Trip's comment was something like, I count 0. Like, I'm just saying, I'm not surprised we're talking about this.
It's a ritual, man. It's nothing serious.
If you zoom, if Trip had widescreened out, you can see Dennis Allen just with his hands crossed, just a little ways away, not paying any attention, watching the rest of practice while he's doing these up downs. So I'm pretty sure he gets a fail from the Nomad Network. I'll have to agree with Triple R on this one, man. He gets a fail on the Nomad.
Yeah, I can't give him a fail, man, because I need the context. I need to know what part of practice that happened in. Because
I'll give you context. So just to note, Dennis Allen makes them do 40 up downs at the beginning of practice before they do anything. This happened after something, like he messed up. I can't remember exactly what he did, but he had messed up, and like it wasn't a situation where Dennis Allen was like, yo, give me 40. He recognized he messed up and he did it himself, and that's why they're half-assed. But still, they're half-assed, and it is a fail.
Well,
is that fair?
Nah, not really.
No, okay, all right.
I wanna see. You probably never did up downs.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Fuck no. What am I doing up downs for?
That's the problem, right?
We don't do.
All right, so there it is.
He can't be up in the stands with his cup of coffee and joint, looking at up downs.
Right there.
Look at that.
I ain't doing no up downs.
Bro, that shit right there. If he decides he wants to be an asshole and just keep blowing the whistle like that and don't give you time to chop your legs, he's just being an asshole. That's all.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Like I said,
the kids doing up downs.
The best part was your comment, man. Because I was like, "What am I looking at?" And I was like, "Oh snap, he doing." And there it is. I count 0.
Hey man, you know what? When you're looking at people doing those, I remember as a kid, I was looking at other kids doing it when I was little and wasn't big enough to play. I'm like 4, maybe 5 years old watching. I'm just like, man, why they always out there crying? That don't look hard at all. Just crying all the time. All these little kids crying. And I got to doing it. And one of our coaches, when I was in the Pee Wee leagues, he just constantly made us do that. Whenever any little kid got out of line, everybody got to hit it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like,
team pissed off.
I'm pissed, man. I'm pissed off, tired at the same time. Shit.
Now you understand what that crime was about,
man. Yeah, but fucking shit that coaches do, man, to ingratiate you into the system. Some of the shit's push-ups. I had another coach that made us run the stadium steps. All kind of shit that coaches had you do.
Well, I don't know if it's fair or not, but I know that we'll get to this, but because of a new addition, it looks like the defense all had to do, another set of 40 up downs.
Oh, word?
Because they brought in somebody, a free agent.
Mm.
Damn.
We'll talk about that guy. Or did I get that set up? Let me see. Oh, man, I might not.
Because it is kind of like teed up right there for you.
Yeah, it is. Hold on. I don't know if I did it though. Damn it. I forgot to put it in there. Anyway, but we got other stuff to talk about, man. We'll talk about that guy.
What up, AC?
Let's start off with some good news. Let me find it. I got so much shit in here, y'all.
Take some X-Lax.
That's the good news.
Oh man, hold on. Where we at?
I've been taking my brand and my morning probiotics.
Oh, that's what I thought the good news was.
So, if I'm not mistaken, the good news is I'm so glad they got this done, fellas. From my understanding, it's about $114 million
Paid
stretched out over 4 years, with his last 2 years of his contract added on. So we're talking about a total of 6 years,
2031.
2032, I think.
Oh, okay.
And he got 114, I believe, is the number. 113, 114, and I think 93 million up front.
Paid.
That's a great contract for him.
And I think that is not only the great contract for him, but that's a great contract for every right tackle in the NF goddamn L.
Well,
Man, I got to echo JoJo. Let me try to fix it, bro.
Mojo Jojo Loco.
Y'all go ahead and talk about it. Let me try to fix
But
it.
yeah, that's the highest right tackle contract currently. Because the next one is going to be eclipse it. But for right now, Ryan Poles is first round, draft pick, earned his extension.
okay, so and I knew okay. So
What's that?
It's not 93 up front. It's 93 guaranteed, which is
Okay.
dope. That's great. That's to me
That's
that's
what I
better
meant
than
by up front.
Yeah, signing
no.
bonus is
They
is
don't
not
bless you with
93.
$93 million one time. Um, but even if they like what that means is like even if he gets hurt and they cut him, he's getting 93. You know what I mean? Like regardless as to anything. Um, I'm gonna so what I'm looking at right now, 2020. No, I can't like these numbers can't be right. So I'm not even going to repeat them.
The guaranteed money is the only money that counts.
Well,
Really,
technically, I won't even argue with that
in
statement.
real time. I mean,
I won't. I won't
What you
argue with
looking
that.
at, the yearly AAV?
Um, I'm just looking at it's an estimate right now. It's not an actual full breakdown that I'm getting
Mm.
at Spot Rack, Spo Track, call it what you will. Um, but they're saying it's an average salary of about 30 mil, which is great, man. That's
Mm.
really good numbers for him. I'm gonna assume um like he was I'm gonna assume this year's light. I'm gonna assume this year's light and next year's heavy. That's just my little assumption because there's not a lot of cap space to 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 give him right now. He probably got a big bonus, and that won't count towards the cap. So he'll be like he's paid no matter how you slice it.
Yeah, that's definitely generational wealth, Dan.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah.
93 guaranteed. That's for tackle, bro. On the right side and not the left side. That's prime paper. That's great
And
money.
we discussed extending Darnell Wright over the course of this offseason, and the numbers that we bantied about was 25 to 30.
Yeah,
And that's right, where he is.
you're damn straight. And to be honest with you, the longer you wait, the higher that number goes up.
I
So
know. That's what I was saying. I was saying that I was just like, it'd be smart on polls to get this done now because his trajectory says it's going to get worse later on down the line.
All the way up.
yeah, the more right tackles get paid out there, re-signed, etc., extended, that number continues to climb, and that's going to be the bar for where his contract conversation begins. So I think they got in front of it at the right time. This is great for Darnell. Great news story for the Bears. And I mean, look, like we haven't signed or extended a first round pick since Kyle Fuller 2014. Like it's been a minute.
Damn, it's been
So
that long?
yeah, bro, it's real good to show and see that this kid came in, he got picked up, came in, did all the right stuff, and they've got all the faith in the world in this particular young man, and I do too. I believe both of y'all do, and I think all the fans do. Like, we don't even really talk about this guy because he's so good that there's really not much to say. Like when we're talking about Darnell, it's because he's pancaked the world on a run play or something to that effect. You know what I'm saying? Other than that,
A
he
couple years
is
ago, I think right outside of his rookie year,
yes. There's
uh,
conversation for
yeah,
sure.
I'm telling people all the time, I'm just like, you gotta slow down, man. That's a stud tackle. You just gotta give him time to put this shit together.
I think the only conversation really that we've had, the only time we brought up his name is with respect to maybe moving him from right to left if the requirement is there. But at this point, who
And
cares?
that's a compliment.
It is a compliment. It is indeed, and like who cares? We know we have ourselves a linchpin tackle on the right side, and worst come to worst, who knows? Maybe they do move him over to left down the road. But as for
What
right
up,
now, we know
Dante?
that other side is straight, man. That right side is straight.
What
Mm.
up, Dante? Yeah, I mean, man, I watched this guy on tape. I remember in the off season last year when we got Jonah Jackson, how I was going on and on and on about the right side. I was like, they're gonna eat MFers up over there. And really, they've designed the entire offense to kind of flow through what they do on the right side. It's all right. Matter of fact, if you'd have heard Press Taylor in his presser today, he basically gave up gave it up, and just was like, "We're a right side predicated offense. We're gonna force you to stop us over there."
Well, yeah, he did say that, but then I don't know if it was the same press conference or a different question, but he also said that, and we're not a, let's say, running team. We're about scoring points. And if the run, sets up run scoring points, good, we'll run. But running for the efficiency's sake of running, we don't do that here. We score points.
Mm.
This is some of the most impressive tape you will ever see over there between him and Jonah Jackson together. But Darnell Wright, his talent, his ability to be able to move target points from A to B and open up lanes for those running backs. It's just, you can't buy that. You just bought that.
Pancakes for all.
I
Everybody
mean,
get the
I was
pancakes.
watching one highlight where it wasn't even his job was to. So there was a twin set on his side. There was twin receivers on his side. One was taking out the edge rusher. One was taking out the slot corner, and they blocked both of them. And Darnell kind of winged on out like a sweep to that side. And one of the I think the edge rusher or the corner must have got loose, and he spotted it out of the corner of his eye. That wasn't his job. He kind of slowed down and make sure he got hands on him, shoved that guy back, and still got out to his target point, opened it up like a 9 to 11 yard gain for DeAndre Swift. That probably shouldn't have happened. That's
No,
his job.
those two together are a force to be reckoned with, and I'm really glad that they really got acclimated and just connected last season. I expect to see a whole hell of a lot more of that as we move forward. Those two guys together, a dangerous pair.
I think when it's all said and done, I think it's between him and Panay Sewell, who I think they're neck and neck, getting pretty close to neck and neck right now for the best, kind of the best tackles in the league, not just right or left. Them dudes is impressive, bro. I'm telling you, watching them two. I watch, I ain't got no shame telling you I watched Panay Sewell on tape because it's that impressive. Watching this guy on tape is really, really impressive.
Tell it to Don.
You can hear me.
Well, look at McLovin Me Softly. Never forget Darnell smacking down Brian Burns like he was a child. Not that smacking children's ever okay, even if they little badasses. Remember when Darnell, had a bad arm and was still taking on Max Crosby? Darnell Wright, he's a warrior. He's a beast out there. He was put through the ringer back in his pro days there at Tennessee by Ryan Pace, and I think wasn't it Flus at the time, whoever's down there with I'm sorry, I said Ryan Pace, Ryan Poles, and he's been a stalwart since we haven't had to talk about him like Ked said because he's been reliable. There was talk about moving him because he was like, well, this guy's so good. Can it be that good over there too? And this guy earned his extension. Congratulations to all involved. And now we can say, all right, the offensive line is, let's say, we're good 4 out of 5 because 5 is still kind of up in the air. But for that side, for the line until 2030, 2031, or 2032, we should be good to go.
All right, now hold on. Now, whenever we see a gift, gotta stop what we're doing and show them some love, y'all. Shout out to Cloud Chasers Radio. Just gifted us 2 jewels with the silver star.
Right on. Good looking.
Appreciate you, dog, man. We love you, bro. Love you. We love you. But man, this is I didn't never think it was any doubt that we had to get him locked in. It was all about how much it was going to cost. I love looking at this guy on tape. Some stuff, I ain't gonna lie to you, some stuff looking at tape all the time is a job. But looking at him on tape, oh my God. Hold on, y'all. We got another. They're showing out in the chat tonight.
Cloud Chasers up the ante.
Much love, Cloud Chasers, bro. I kind of had to stop monetizing the show, man, because they're giving me, just for now, because they're giving me so much BS on the side, and that's hurting. Trying to keep the channel going, man, because we pay for stuff to, keep the show functional, and this is helping, bro. So anybody,
350 joules finger her.
Oh Lord.
Finger heart.
Why you got to mess up a good thing?
Finger. What does that mean? Finger heart.
Is
that like a jewel? What is that?
It's a gift, man.
Oh, okay. Finger heart. Is that like? I remember Finger Hut. Place you used to order stuff.
Thank you, Cloud Chasers, bro. We appreciate it. Any of that, man, we appreciate, man, because we are losing money not monetizing right now, but F YouTube right now with all that BS. So thank y'all for keeping us going, man. However, what were we talking about? Yeah, it's just a joy watching this cat on tape, man, because the more and more, like, I saw him just get better and better last year. And you guys got to remember something, too. I don't know if y'all noticed, but he's playing with a bad elbow out there pretty much all of last year. Did y'all notice that?
Yeah, and that's why he went out.
Yeah.
He came back real quick.
Man.
Who was saying it? Who said it out there? Oh, Dante Purifier was like, he ducked Max Crosby last year. But yeah, it was because of that elbow situation.
What up, Squalls? Leo Factor, Paul Martin, Shad, everybody that just jumped up in here. Cloud Chasers Radio, everybody. But man, we got to stop. We're gonna have one for a long time. Now we just got that up. We got to get that other spot over there solidified, and I think we on the path to do that. I don't know if y'all noticed, but let me get him off the screen real quick.
Oh, and a finger heart is a popular hand gesture from a K-pop band culture.
Oh,
we appreciate it. I don't know if y'all saw what's his name, light skinned pretty boy on that's on what's the show with?
You talking?
You talking about Harbor?
Yeah,
Clay Harbor.
That's exactly who I was talking.
Clay, yeah, we pretty boy. We know who you talking about. Come on.
I never forget that Samuel's first guest. That's the first guy he reached out to.
Oh, Samuel's still heated. Still to this day.
Samuel, I think Samuel wanted to write him a dirty comeback. No. Samuel, don't do that. Don't do that. Just let it go. But I understand how he felt, man. That's his first time reaching out to a guest and securing a guest on his own. I know what that feels like. So I understood. I did not. It ain't worth doing that, man. You'll be here doing that stuff for a while. You don't want to do that.
Damn White Sox.
But anyway, if y'all would have seen him on TV today, one of the guys that he said really stood out today was, he said, you better watch out for Jedrick Wills.
Good.
Uh-huh.
That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, I want to hear the competition because thus far, Braxton Jones has been holding it down with the ones,
Yeah,
but they really just got into pads
yeah.
also.
Only 2 days into it.
You know, well, holding it down with the ones previous pads, prior pads, before pads went on. But now that the pads are on, if Mr. Wills is kind of like separating himself, I ain't mad at it.
Well, he hadn't really since the pads came on. I don't think he's been with one reps. I got a feeling sometime either if not late this week or this weekend, it's gonna be early next week. He'll get some of those reps. He's got to.
Well, yeah, because the game's Thursday.
He's gonna get him, and then we'll find out what
No,
he's about.
it's not Thursday. You talking about next Thursday, right?
Yeah, well, next Thursday. When you said
Oh,
next
it's
week, it's in the game Thursday. Yeah, next week
oh,
Thursday.
it's next Saturday.
It's next Saturday?
I don't know. That's what I thought.
Because I know there's a game tomorrow that's not the Bears.
What up, True
Well,
Pilgrim?
go ahead. We'll look it up.
All right. So
What up, True?
the bad news is, man, it's better than I thought it was going to be, and I was hoping for, it wasn't a season injury, ACL, MCL, or something like that. He had a hyperextended knee. This is Kobe Bryant, by the way, our new free safety. He ended up with a hyperextended knee and I think a microfracture in his somewhere around his shin or his knee. I don't think it was his knee, but I think his shin. So what I can tell you is I know what the hyperextension is because I got a hyperextension in my elbow, but I also had a hyperextension on my knee when I was coming out of high school. And it's extremely painful, hard to walk on it because the swelling and inflammation. If you put your hand right there on the front of your kneecap right now and just put your hand right directly in the back of your kneecap where your leg bends, where your knee bends, all that back there is swelling. All of it. And so basically his knee bent the opposite way. That shit hurts. At first, it's just like, okay, I'm gonna be able to walk this off, and then you get on there and you start trying to do it, and he's like, not so much. And then as the day graduates, that swelling comes on, and he went to the hospital. Like I had to go to the hospital, and basically they give you a bunch of stuff to keep the swelling down, but it ain't gonna stop the swelling. And if it gets too bad, like mine did, they had to pull some juice out of this. So I don't know exactly how bad his is, but mine was pretty tough. So it doesn't require surgery, but it does take some time for you to be able to get everything back right, man. Because the tenderness is the worst thing about it. How tender the feeling is, man. It's very, very, very sensitive.
Well, and also in that part of the knee, the way the joint bends. Hyperextending it is obviously going the other direction, but behind there's the your patella and all that stuff in there. And so luckily it went straight back, which is a hyperextension, and it didn't go to a side because now you're talking your ACLs, MCLs, and all of that stuff. So it's not ideal, but it could have been much, much worse. And so it's just the key of letting the swelling of the inflammation reduce and subside, and then getting the mobility back, being able to bend it and getting the strength back in it because you kind of atrophy a little bit not using it because you can't bend it. And so that's your quad, that's your hammies, that's your calves that are not getting utilized, getting stretched, getting a workload as normal. So it takes time to rebuild all of those up so you're not re-injuring or putting a load on another body part or the other side because you're favoring the other side. So it's that you just got to let it heal. And you can't rush it. You can give it all the treatment possible and all that, but you just can't go until it's ready.
I guarantee you, he'll be ready long before 8 to 10 weeks. I was back running around, working out, hooping in 6 weeks. And I probably shouldn't have. The doctor told me it was going to be 9 to 12.
Well,
I just, you when you're an athlete and you keep your body in right condition, I'm telling you, he's going to be back before 10 weeks. Promise you that. It's just going to be, if anything, the coaches and the trainers are going to be trying to hold him back, but he'll be all right.
Well, go ahead, kids, because there's
So this
actually
is
information on this that I saved. Go ahead.
so this is the bone that I had to pick, right? No
What?
man, you've been calling for safety just in case for weeks. We've been looking at safety after safety, and like I'm not so sure that that was a bad thing. It's probably actually an awesome thing because we have a good
Oh,
understanding
you
of.
trying to say I jinxed this?
You might have, you may have. It's
Oh,
possible.
damn.
That's low, man. That's
But
low.
I'm saying
It's
I was
your
trying to
fault.
figure out why you were looking at safety so hard. We just got a safety and we drafted him, but here we are. Now that being said, we've looked at Kenny Moore. We've looked at Xavier Woods. Am I right? And I think
No,
either one would be a pretty decent look right now.
looked at a couple guys. I don't think Xavier Woods is one.
Is Xavier Wood? No, it's not Xavier. Xavier. Damn.
I can't think, man. I'm right about now. I'm busy. This guy's gonna be fine, man. We just need some depth. So 8 to 10 weeks. This so
Well,
we.
here's why. From paging Dr. West, Mason West. Follow him there on the Twitter at West Sports PT.
I should have got with him, man.
Honestly, not the worst. Return to play. 8 to 10 weeks is realistic if the fracture has healed, the bone bruise is no longer limiting symptoms, and knee stability is normal. Return to previous performance, typically 2 to 6 additional weeks after returning. Although explosive athletes may take 4 to 8 weeks to regain pre injury form. Bone bruise pain is usually the biggest limiting factor, not necessarily the ligament injury. So, weeks 0 to 2 is for protection, weeks 2 to 6 is for strength and rebuilding, weeks 6 through 8. This is usually where football specific work begins. Weeks 8 through 10 is return to play. And first 2 games back about 85 to 90% of prior level.
I guarantee you, and that's a good breakdown by the doc, man. He would know the specifics a whole lot better than anybody around here. But just speaking from just recalling that memory of how it felt, I just remember the first couple 2 or 3 days, it was just a lot of pain and trying to keep that swelling down. And after that, it's pretty much the tenderness, starts to subside. Now you're starting to move around a little bit. You're putting a little pressure on your leg. You're probably not using your crutch like you need to, but you tired of it up under your arm, so you're kind of just doing stuff. So hopefully he doesn't rush it too much. But I know cats like him, how he's made, man, he's gonna be out there. He'll be ready to go in like 5 weeks, 6 weeks. I'm telling you.
Get back on the field and play football?
Christmas. What Christmas? The camp is
It
6
ain't as
weeks.
far as Christmas, Dan.
The
What,
camp is
Christmas?
We
the
talking
camp.
right now.
Our
So
training camp is 6 weeks. He just got hurt
yeah,
a week into camp.
yeah. So it'll be like worst come to worst. I would expect him like first 2 weeks of October.
Yeah, like
I think that's
October,
a
I was
good.
Yeah,
thinking.
if he
You know what I
missed
mean?
2 games, it's got to be tops right
Yeah,
there.
I think that's a good estimation as to when this young man will be back on the field. Um, but yeah, not a great situation to walk into with respect to that safety position and being somewhat short-handed, but that's all right, man. Not much you can do about this except for have quality depth. They're going to test the depth that they have right now. I think it gives them all the reason to do so. And if they feel like they're a little bit light, I would not be surprised if you hear them do something at this position. And to be frank with you, like we're not talking about the edge rusher position. We're not talking about D line. We're not talking about left tackle. Safeties, there's affordable safeties out there to bring on to the team from a free agency
We
perspective.
already
They
signed
really
the guy.
will be. What's that?
We already signed the guy.
Is he the guy though? Who do we sign?
He's a depth piece. He's decent. Let me make sure I got the name.
He's a Ute.
He's a Ute.
Yeah, he's not a vet depth piece.
That's
But that's the thing though. What
Marlon
knowing that
Sewell.
one more time.
what's his name?
Marlon Sewell.
Yeah, Sewell, no relation to the other Sewells.
No relation to the Sewells. Okay.
Damn, I thought.
Got
But
15 Sewells in the NFL, and this guy's the one guy that's not related to.
yeah, I don't think he's an island. I think he's like black guy.
Okay. All right.
But what with this defense being in the transition the way it is, does bringing in a 1-year veteran, change that trajectory, or does bringing in like a guy that there's like, yeah, we think he can be something going forward, and let's develop him now, kind of, on the job training, whoever it is.
I can tell he was a UDFA that they probably coveted, but the Chiefs got a hold of him, and the Chiefs let him get out there and unrestricted, and it was just like they probably somebody on their list that they wanted in the first place. Since Dennis Allen got here, this was just an opportunity to get him.
Yeah, one of those guys.
Yeah, he fits perfectly. Very, very physical. He's one of those guys that, like, one of the things about safety is that you got to hurry up and get this out of your system, especially when you're a stud in college football and you're used to knocking people out, flying to the ball, to the catch point, and trying to make that, or just getting to the ball carrier and trying to make that hit instead of making the tackle, breaking yourself down so that you don't miss that play. So if a safety, you wander around, you see some of these guys like, hold on, they got this guy on the bench. Whoa, he's a stud in college. They don't learn sometimes. It takes them a while to learn. Like one or two of those plays, you miss your assignment like that, and boom, off goes a guy for a 60-yarder. You the last person on that in the line of defense. 1 or 2 times, that'll put your ass buried on the bench. And so that's one of the things I can say about Marlon Sewell is he's a sure tackler. When it's up to him to be the last person to get that guy's going on the ground. Physical, fast, everything that we want to be in this defense.
Versatile, I take it as well.
Oh, yeah. Started off as a corner. They seem to like those kind of guys that have that skill set because Kobe Bryant was a corner too.
Now, was he in this past draft or last year's draft?
2025.
So last year's draft, okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying UDFA fell to Kansas City, they worked with him for a season, and now he's a free agent.
They had a pretty deep DB room.
Fair enough.
And they had to let him go.
That's fine.
Sure, I think this was a gimme.
Look, I don't
Hold on, let me just hold on for a second.
Wait, Corny said he can barely hear you, kids.
Word, really?
Don't start messing with shit. You just gotta talk up a little bit because you're gonna fuck everything up.
Are you sure?
Promise you, man. Don't do it.
All right, look, I will just speak louder. I can do that.
From the diaphragm, kids.
I will speak from the diaphragm. So look, I am with a rookie starting more than likely for sure in Thieneman. I think we need a little bit of veteran leadership beside him. Somebody who's seen it, knows what to do, and is familiar. And that's all of those, for all of those reasons, I saw upside in Kobe Bryant. Still do, obviously. It's just a question of when he gets better, back on the field. No problem, Corny. I can, I can project.
Hey, hold that thought for a second, kids. Let me show you guys something. It's just a quick highlight of him.
Marlon Sewell.
He's number 7 right here.
Closing up. Cleaning up on a little
That's what you'll notice. Watch how fast he closes.
Ooh, damn. Nice. On the blitz there, shot out of the cannon, hit the gap nicely. Take the quarterback down.
Smart. That's real quick. He's made sure he maintained outside in.
Mm-hmm. Played the guy that went out to the flat, saw the ball was coming back in, and he came back in, make the tackle.
smokes.
He looks like he's high kneeing through the check flat, tackle inside. It's Vanderbilt.
Break down, get the tackle. Very important. Break down. You ain't overrunning the play.
Nice
Break
change
down.
of direction.
Break down, break them feet down, and get the tackle. Gotta have it. Nice, physical.
Shout out under the radar prospects.
And you know, did I mention he played corner coming out of high school?
Yeah, you said he transitioned to safety.
He transitioned to safety, so you know that kind of guy that can give you some reps at nickel as well.
So now he's in coverage. Turn the hips, run with him, and deflect the ball. Nice.
Has he played any?
Look at that speed over there.
Wide outside run.
Really, really fast. That's one thing I noticed about him, how fast he closes ground. Wait a minute, let me back that up a little bit more. Watch how fast he closes this gap.
Outside run to the left, closes up, cleans it up. And looks like ball came out too on that tackle. Played along the line of scrimmage there, closed down on the run.
Fight through it, break down. Break down, chop them feet and make the tackle. Don't overrun this. Perfectly done. Don't worry about the big hit. Just get the tackle. Break down, make the play.
Identify that it's a run, make the play. Little coverage.
Break down, make the play.
Roll up.
You know how many guys just run past those? Arm tackle. Break down, make the play.
And let's say Shad on Sports is saying that our SEC scouts spent a ton of time at Vandy these past couple years.
Oh yeah, they quietly got some dogs down there. That's why. He's physical as shit.
And as True Pilgrim is saying, he gives Poles credit. He knows how to unearth gems.
He probably already should have been with us. We just got beat to the punch by Kansas City. That's a quick highlight of him. To see y'all have an idea. What'd you say?
I was just reading off the stats there on the screen that he had the 52 tackles. Was it 1 sack and 2 passes defended?
Not bad.
I like what I saw. I went into a little deeper tape with him, man. He's what you can say about it is he's consistent. He's consistent. Everything you just saw, you consistently see. It's a good highlight tape. You didn't see no whole bunch of interceptions or nothing like that. He's just steady Eddie. He just makes plays. You know, that's what you need as a safety. Later on, you can work about getting the turnovers, punching balls out, you know, trying to get to the ball at the catch point, all that kind of stuff. But just make sure nobody gets behind you. And when you have to make a play, you make a play.
Yeah, he's a short tackler. I have to give him that for sure. That's an interesting pickup. We'll see what he does with respect to adding additional depth to the safety room. But I still think, man, I think we need a vet. I think we need somebody who's been there and done it.
I think Josh is from Duke. I think he's from Duke, but I might be wrong.
Another one of those brainiac schools.
Andy recruited me, man.
You know, Dan Brown, Poles likes those Ivy League type schools.
Vanderbilt wasn't shit when I was in high school.
More than the SEC.
Ain't no way I was going there.
Well, what? Vandy was the intellects and the SEC was the athletes, basically.
I mean, I had a high enough GPA to go there. I mean, it wasn't that wasn't the problem. It was just the program wasn't shit.
Oh, the football, because it's an Ivy League school, isn't it?
No.
You talking Vanderbilt?
Vanderbilt's not Ivy League.
Oh, okay.
If they became Ivy League, they just became Ivy League.
Because that's isn't that Jay Cutler's old stomping grounds?
It's an SEC school, man.
Hmm.
Man,
Well, let's see what the kid got, because here's the thing. Because this defense of Dennis Allen's is in transition and injuries, it's opening up, pathways for young guys to make, an opportunity for themselves in this league. And that's kind of what I'm leaning toward more than, let's get an old guy to fill in and do this because he's done it, before. It's like, yeah, I get that, but at this time of the defense, we need to identify, guys like Sewell or whoever they may be that have more of a trajectory, to build with and develop, as opposed to, well, we can get a get by guy and another get by guy.
Speaking of get by guy, so the homie Shat on Sports says, Coach Kets, can we get some Stevenson reps at free safety in camp? Like, I like
not
that
this
as
year
a
you won't.
Nah.
huh?
Not
See,
this year you won't.
fair enough. I like this general train of thought. I don't see Tariq moving anywhere. I see him taking over that cornerback position in a major way. But there's another gentleman that I wouldn't mind seeing at least attempting the safety thing.
Before you go there, kid, good news is Dennis Allen kind of alluded to that he
No
said
way.
that it's going to be the next man up kind of attitude, but he said also, we're going to look around the entire room. And that means the whole DB room. That means there's corner. It might be a corner in there somewhere. They might actually go start taking some reps over there, and only because now that Cam Lewis is getting out of that rotation of taking those nickelback reps and has to go play safety now. They got to move something around a little bit.
Well, you can't be at two, can't be at two places at once, right? Like
Now you're gonna every one of them gonna cross train. They're gonna take reps here. They're gonna take reps there. I don't
I'm
know
just
how many safeties. I mean, how many corners are getting safety reps, but I know how many boundary corners are getting nickel reps, and how many nickels are getting boundary reps.
Yeah, and also for necessity wise, the way that everybody's been speaking about it, Tyreek is looking at, being cornerback number 2.
yeah.
And that's more important than him getting, free safety reps, I would imagine.
If anybody, it's gonna be
100%.
Terrell Smith.
That's who I'm talking about. That's actually the guy I was alluding to, right? So I expect Tariq to take over Tariq came out this week and says, I want to be the best cornerback on this team, not named Jalen Johnson. Like that's my job. That's what I want to do. And I'm so behind the young man in that respect. And I think he can do that in spades. Now, Mr. Smith now. Right? Like, unfortunately, he's been injured here and there. He's also just been kind of buried in the depth chart as well, and just needs an opportunity to get on the field. I think this might be his opportunity, and I would love to see him get some reps over there, man. I think that would be so beneficial to Terrell Smith.
The thing is this: when Kyler gets back, when Elijah Hicks gets back, it's gonna kind of even everything out a little bit more, and you won't necessarily have now. I just say if we had a solid starting cornerback that I thought was a real starter, along with Kyler
You
might
mean
be the guy
at the
getting those.
nickel position you're talking?
Yeah, but I don't. Cam Lewis ain't. Cam Lewis can get you out of a game, but 18 game starter, nah.
Well, and that leads me to a little something I read from Courtney Cronin earlier on. And she was just talking about this general this whole conversation we're having. Kobe Bryant, who's doing what, Kyler Gordon, what's going on there. And just like I was saying, Cam Lewis can only play one of the two positions. He can't play them both at the same time. He's just one person. So that being said, with respect to Kyler Gordon, she says that he's out indefinitely. And when I read that word, it kind of
When did she say that?
Say what now?
When did she say that?
Today.
And that only means they don't know when he's going to come back.
But that's not That's
I
a
know it
bad.
sounds terrible, but that's really
It's
what
That's
an
not
F
good.
word, man. Like it's a it's a cuss word. When she said it, I was like, it means exactly what you're saying. It means nobody knows when this man may show up on the field, and that's not like even with Kobe Bryant. At least we know when.
8 to 10
You
weeks.
know what I'm saying? Like we know when he's gonna come back. We have a good understanding, a good idea. With the homie Kyler, indefinitely. That
Who the fuck knows?
that's
I don't.
not good to
I
hear.
just don't think too much of it. I think he'll be all right in another week or so. Calf
Yeah, I
You're
hope
strain.
such
so.
a you're such a GD optimist though. Like
It's a calf
I don't.
strain, bro. You gotta. I mean, when you strain a muscle, kids, the thing is, everybody might want to see you in a quick fast, but the truth is, if you try to go out there too fast, you're gonna re-aggravate it, and you're gonna be right back where you started.
Make it worse.
Yeah. So
But
I think
isn't
people just
that?
got to understand that these muscle strains is just they're tedious as fuck, man.
But like these are the days of our lives. You know what I mean? Like this is the story of Kyler Gordon. Period.
Well,
So
but
I don't want to
but
rush him back. Like by all means, Kyler, take whatever
I
time you
told you what
need.
happened when I did that one time. I told you what happened. I thought I was just fine. I felt good, and then I opened wide ass up,
Well, look at
re
Jalen last year, right?
aggravated it.
Look at Jalen last year. Jalen came back, he rushed his way back and blew everything out, and then he was out for quite some time because he blew everything out, surgery and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a situation. So I'm saying the same thing. Don't rush back if that's the deal. But
Look, like let me give you an
damn,
example, kids. This you would understand this a little bit better, right? Let's just say you pulled your back left hamstring, right? Your left leg, and immediately every time you went to lean over and do some stretches to touch your toes, you slightly lean over and you feel that thing tug a little bit, right?
mm-hmm.
And over about a week and a half, all of a sudden you can lean down slowly and you don't feel nothing. And you start pushing it a little further. You start stretching a little bit more. You ain't really feeling nothing. You go out for a little light jog. You go give a little quick burst. Feeling nothing. You feel good. And so next thing you know, you're in the training room. And he's like, "How you feeling?" I went and did this. I did that. I ain't feel nothing. Okay, now take it easy. I feel good, doc. Da 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 da. Next thing you know, you give you some tests. All right, if you say so, you know your body better than I can tell you. You go out there, you ain't felt nothing. All of a sudden, boom, you got to go chase somebody, and you pull it
4 steps in, it happens.
just because you didn't give it enough time.
Yeah, no, like I'm saying, I get all that, and to, with respect to that, I'm saying don't rush back. Make sure you're in good standing when you return, but at the same time, it's very hard to plan around this, right? Like this is very disruptive to what they're trying to do as a defense in camp. And it's going to continue to be disruptive as they move forward over the course of the next few weeks, and into the season, because again, that I word, that's the one word you can never plan around indefinitely. Huh?
If he goes into the season, um,
Hey,
if he goes
Deuce
into the
Deuce,
season with
man.
it,
Big shout outs, big birthday shout outs to Deuce One, man. It was his birthday there yesterday, man. But
happy
wait a
birthday.
minute. Speaking of which, that means it's your birthday too. Is that right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You lying. Your birthday's like right around here.
It's right around here somewhere.
It's right around. It's either today or it's
Uh oh.
tomorrow.
Uh oh. So
You're
you
right.
wake
You're
up with a
right
smile
around
on
this
your face,
regard.
Dave?
It's around here somewhere. That's all I
Huh?
would tell
So
you.
Oh,
watch out
well.
now.
Well, happy birthdays to both of y'all, man. I totally forgot, but
Right
now
on,
that I'm
right on.
thinking about it, I remember. Yeah, you're one of those guys. Was it Leo? Is that right?
I'm
Leo?
definitely Leo.
Yeah.
But hey, I just caution everybody with the Kyler thing, man. I'd rather him. If he missed the entire camp just so that he can get all the way right, I would not be upset.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't either, but we need him right. Oh, Uncle Fucker Foster. I don't.
Foster.
Yes.
But I know it's just camp and they were doing 101s, but there's only limited video coming out from camps, and so when you see the clips, we've all seen them. Of I think it was Darth Burton, Khalif Raymond, and I think Xavier Thomas doing routes, and it was
Mm-hmm.
just a release and go up the sidelines, right sidelines offense, and
One
the
on ones.
one-on-ones,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
the defenders were getting
Iced.
toasted.
It's slanted towards. It's supposed to get. It's
And
supposed to get.
but the point is, out of the DBs that were getting toasted, Terrell Smitty was like, "Oh
It was the
Lord,"
worst, huh?
he was just like, "Oh,
Yeah.
what are they?" It was like it looked like me trying to cover him out there, and my 40 time has
Dog,
been the shit a long time ago.
I gotta
It
say,
might as
man,
well
I
have
gotta
been
say,
two blocks.
one on ones is so skewed heavily for the offense. It almost ain't fair, man.
Man, but but I'm just looking at the moves or the just a little stutter step, but the
Yo,
speed and the quickness at which these wide receivers are operating is something that we have not been used to as a fan base.
mm-mm,
And seeing that is good offensive wise, but it also kind of points out it's like, ooh, yeah, we
man,
need some help at DB.
the
Nah,
Luther Bird,
they
like
are.
all three of
Trust me,
those
that's
reps.
happening. That's happening, and I don't care what. Think of the best team, defensive team. They got the best DBs in the league. That's happening, and they ass too in one on ones. Trust me.
Man, I'm just saying, all three of those reps were eye opening, man. First of all, Luther Burden got some feet, right? He chopped it up on the line. I was like, oh, I don't know who's gonna stick with a man who can do all that. Like he got some feet, and like let me tell you, Tariq played the ball well. Like he played the ball well. Luther still was able to bring it down. So big ups to both of them.
He
Then you
looked
get
the
to the
best out of all of them.
oh he was.
Yeah,
Then
yeah, yeah.
then you look at the other two, and Jalen was basically out of the play, but at
He,
least
he.
involved.
I saw what happened to him. He just bit.
Yeah, he did bite. You're right.
Took
So
the sweet candy and got cooked.
yeah. So Jalen bit, and Terrell just got burned. He just got ate
Smoked.
alive by speed, man. Like Savion's gonna give
It's a
people problems,
mismatch.
man.
It's a mismatch. Ain't
He
nobody
got
out.
smoked like the last blunt at a Rasta
We ain't
concert.
got a we ain't got a DB on this team that's gonna guard him.
No, and I
If he
don't. The
want to take
question,
somebody deep, he gonna take him deep.
the question is gonna be who do you have a DB that can guard him? That's gonna be the question at some
No,
point.
you know who else is doing that to people?
Uh,
That guy
Khalif
right.
Raymond. Yeah, he was out there.
so Khalif was against Jalen. It wasn't Rome. It was Khalif, and I was like, don't be showing Khalif Raymond film.
He's out there picking him up and putting him down.
Yeah, man, Khalif looked good, man. Shout out to eat that, Don Burr.
And also the way that the other receivers talk about Khalif, to a man, they're like he's like having another coach on the field. Plus, physically, he's still gifted with his athletic talent. So, they have his respect that way as well. And then he has the knowledge of Ben Johnson and what he wants and expects. So Khalif Raymond is like, man, he's the mentor that this wide receiver room needed, but didn't know that they needed, but knew that they needed.
Hey, dog, let me tell you something. I already know those little jitterbug receivers like Khalif and Xavier. Every time they see a long ass corner in front of them, they like look at them fingers. Barbecue chicken, Jack.
Huh.
Ain't nobody going. They can't guard them dudes, man. It's a mismatch. They just can't guard them.
I, I'm I'm hoping the mismatches continue. I hope they get
The,
worse. And
here's what to look forward to if Kyler gets back in this camp. How well does Kyler guard them two cats? Because he's the kind of guy that he's gonna have to deal with them in the slot.
But that's the thing, though. It's um, I know is Damn, that means Kyler's gonna have to turn around and run with these guys. That means he's gonna have to stretch them legs out. And it's like, oh, do we really want him doing that? But we need him to do that. But do we really want him to do that? Because it hasn't been good. And I'm just kind of gun shy right now, kids.
Yeah, Khalif been tearing MFs up. Not only that, he's been proving his value in so many other different ways by just being a leader. Everything I heard about Khalif Raymond before we got him, like I watched the St. Brown podcast, those St. Brown Brothers podcasts, and they were upset. Well, at least Amon Ra was.
Amon Ra should be back.
He was really upset because this guy is way more valuable than as explosive as he is on the field. He's such a better human and a guy that helps guide people and keep people where they need to be and just teaching people along the way. I mean, Ben Johnson loves this cat. And yeah, they felt his removal from that roster, and we just gained one. And not just on off the field, man. He gonna be something. He gonna be hell to deal with. Every time I watched in the past when I'm watching Detroit Tech before we get ready to play these guys, I'm more worried about what they would do with him than I was worried about with Amon Ra or Jameson, because they do so many different things with this guy. He will just absolutely rip you apart with the sets that they come out of. He's going to be an explosive piece, and it's going to be a minute before Xavier sees significant reps because Khalif is going to be hard to get him off the field.
Well, I'm not to detract or take away from him, but can't you just like tell Xavier, hey, go out there, run real fast to the end zone? Because guess what? If they don't cover you, Caleb's going to hit you. But if they do cover you, which they probably will, you're going to take a corner and a safety with you, leaving, Loveland, Raymond, Burden, Rome, Roush to work underneath. So not that he's a decoy, but use him as a decoy until he's actually, up to speed on routes.
It's one of them things, Trip. Just imagine this: you, the head coach, and you, the offensive coordinator as well. You know what this guy has got. You know what he can bring to the table. But you also have a guy that knows exactly what he's doing, and you ain't worried about him having no hiccups out there. You're watching him through practice this week, and he's already swimming because you're loading him up with information. So he's trying to be in the right place, knowing all the checks, knowing all the motions, the switches, and everything that has to come into a play, each play at a time. And as you're installing those plays, one or two hiccups will tell you during the practice, like he ain't ready yet. So it's gonna be a whole lot of he ain't ready yet until he's ready. And then next thing you know, you're gonna start seeing him get sprinkled in. Just like Luther. He'll start getting sprinkled in here and there, getting in there more and more. That's how you'll know. It's because he'll prove it in practice that week.
Well,
he's swimming right now. I'm telling you right now, he's swimming.
Well, I'm sure he is. He's got to understand the verbiage and all what's really going on with the scheme. But Trip, you nailed it, bro. Like that's what's gonna happen, and it's gonna start. It's gonna start with Khalif Raymond. It's gonna start with him, mostly running, in like a bunch formation on a crosser in the slot, and he's gonna cross. And that's going to let these two other guys on that same side really work that space. And you'll have another guy who sits intermittent, in the middle from a tight end perspective. He'll, middle of the field. But that cross will become a regular thing. Just watch, and it's the play we don't fuck that the Bears just never use. They never use crossers or slants. They just tend not to do it. But here we go. Here's Khalif Raymond. He'll be doing it. He ate our lunch with it the few times that he played against us in Detroit. I'm gonna watch Ben Johnson utilize that. But real talk though, Trip, that's game, bro. That's game, because at some point, you're then going to bring in Xavier to do the same thing, and the understanding will be, oh, he's a rookie, he's not going to be, he's not really going to do very much, and you target him a couple of times, and then you send him deep, right? When they're thinking he's going to be on that flat crosser slant, intermittent route, forget about it. You send him go route, man. 9 route, and see what happens. 7th round, you see what happens.
Well, did
So
you? Well, hold on, kids. Just to piggyback on what you were saying, there was another rep. I think it was Loveland or Rome, but it was they were 5 yards down and then a quick out to the sidelines. But
mhm.
instead of going to the sidelines to catch the ball, it was a jerk route. So they faked to the sidelines and then cut back
And then
in
cut back. Oh, cut back in.
into the field.
Oh
So instead of
wow.
like they went to the out to the sideline and then stopped and cut back into the field. And so if a DB is thinking, all right, I'm gonna, protect the sidelines because this is an out, and now these quick twitched, quick feet, jitterbug wide receivers are now changing directions back in. And so that is now a route, but with a different, little flair at the end of it that makes it a different route.
Not
A
only does it
double
make it
move,
a
if you
different
will.
round trip,
So
but if
so
you've
so
got
so
the other
throw
guy
double
going
moves
deep,
into your previous layout there
if
scenario.
you got the other guy in that bunch formation going deep, and the slot going, you know what I'm saying, going crosser, that guy on the end who double back in has the whole right side of left side of the field to himself.
Entire high side of the field.
Can I tell you guys something that shouldn't surprise you guys? Um, I'm listening to the St. Brown's podcast, when we first got Ben Johnson, and listen to Amon Ra talk about. Well, good thing his brother was there to ask him the right question, because I was curious about this guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's way over exceeded my expectations. Ben Johnson has, man. I'm just gonna start with that, man. So I wasn't sure about him. I wasn't sure he was a man's man that can command a whole room, a whole team. So he's proven me wrong so far. Now I gotta say this, man. One of the things that keeps coming out about Ben Johnson and how this offense is meticulous about making sure that everything looks the same, but different stuff is coming out of it. That kept coming up, and in that, it's like you listening to Amon Ra talk about this. It's not like the offense itself is kind of complicated, but it's the details and making sure that you got the right alignment here, you got the right alignment there, your assignment sound. And if you miss one little thing, he's going to yank you, and you might not see the light of day. And so that's the shit that not Khalif, but Xavier is dealing with right now. He's got
Of
to make
course.
sure he's assignment sound. That's why it's going to take him a minute. It's what I'm trying to explain to y'all. When he's ready, he's going to be ready.
Yeah, and this is what you get when you have a coach, when you have a head coach that pays attention to details, right? That was
Meticulous about it too.
that's you have to be, and this is where everything has gone wrong with the coaches we've had over the past 10 years. Just that one specific area. If they were meticulous about details, um, you know, snaps wouldn't have been skidding off the ground. All sorts of good stuff would have been happening. But unfortunately, it was what it is, was what it was, and this is what it is. And I'm loving every second of what Ben is doing. He's focused on that bullshit and ain't having it for a second.
Hey, you know what, kids? I just saw Xavion's pressure. He was up there, I think, a day or so ago.
Okay.
One of the things that came out, he told Xavier, Ben Johnson told him this first day there. He said, "You see that guy right there? Follow him and do everything he does." That would tell you a whole lot in a nutshell. Like whatever that guy's doing, or whatever he tells you to do, listen to him, because it's gonna. The reason Khalif Raymond is here is not because Xavier Thomas isn't talented enough. He's plenty talented enough, but how fast he comes along is mostly built around what Khalif can bring to the table now, and him showing and setting that example. Just watching people sometimes can get you along faster than you think you can get along.
And that's something that you got to give it to Khalif Raymond and other veteran players who have that respect factor, not because of, oh, you've been in the league X amount of years, or you get a Super Bowl ring, or, or you can run really fast or whatever it is. It's, accumulation of all of those things and just being a good person. Because somebody here in the chat said, Ron Wanaski said everyone loves Raymond, and while a odd accented sitcom with the stars there, it's true in this case because as a veteran, coming in knowing that your career is on the shorter end, but you're expected and willingly passing along, all of the knowledge and experience that you've garnered and gained onto the next generation of somebody that, you know, uh, we hope takes your job one day, but be willing to share and give that of themselves, that's pretty cool, pretty mature of them. Yeah.
Also, let me give you another nugget, Trip. When I used to watch Khalif Raymond on tape, it was always on tape. I never always seen him with a helmet on. I never knew anything about his personality until really he got here. And I just thought the cat was tough as shit. I had no idea he was a smiley, engaging, just a very generous personality that the aura that he has around him. Because he will smack the shit out of you in the blocking game. That's another feature to Khalif Raymond that goes, kind of goes under the radar. He's gonna smack you in the blocking game. If he's coming down on you his assignment, he's gonna hit you. He's very physical, and he's stronger than he looks. He's like a running back playing receiver.
He's like Amon-Ra St. Brown, and this is kind of where Amon-Ra St. Brown learned a lot of what Amon-Ra St. Brown is. And I think Ben Johnson hopes that Xavier Thomas learns a lot of that Amon-Ra St. Brown from Khalif Raymond. Maybe it was just always Khalif Raymond. You know what I'm saying? But Detroit didn't draft him. He was a little bit older at the time, and he made for all the more usage of Amon-Ra. And this is a very similar story. I think he gets on the field, makes his impression felt, but all the while, he'll keep training up and coaching up the young man to really own that position at some point. And in my opinion, it's just a matter of when.
And it's not, don't just limit it to, Xavier Thomas at the slot position. Khalif Raymond is a professional wide receiver. Mm-hmm. So Jade Walker, Luther Burden, Rome Odunze, JP Richardson, the whole wide receiver room is benefiting from his presence. Not just those slot guys.
Nope.
He's invaluable. I can tell that right now, man. Everybody sings his praises, man. And again, like I could tell by how Amon-Ra acted when he left, that was all right. We got something here. We really got something here. And the cerebral part of what he's going to add to the receiver room, and especially Xavier Thomas, help him round his game off a little bit quicker, man. And just be happy that he's here, man, because this cat right here, all the help that he's giving to other people, he still has to perform, and he's doing that to the max. Every day I'm hearing some Khalif Raymond stories.
Yeah, I think, like I said, that's going to continue. He brings that veteran presence to the locker room, and I think we really needed it, considering, again, DJ's departure and all of that. I think he's a fitting veteran on that, in that wide receiver room. And, he's a veteran that's very familiar with what Ben Johnson wants to do already. So I'm quite happy that he's here. I think he's going to do wonders for this team, whether it's actually on the field or just in the locker room case scenario.
I'm glad like hell he's here, kids. Because that guy, I'm telling you, he worried me more on tape than the other guys. Him and Jahmyr Gibbs are the ones I worried about the most. Khalif Raymond and Jahmyr.
You worried about them the most in Detroit?
Man, you can contain Amon-Ra. He's gonna make it. Amon-Ra's a tough receiver. He's gonna make some plays. That comes with the game. But this guy, you don't know what they're gonna do with him. He's a joker.
I know the thing is, every time we played against him, it's like, fuck, is somebody gonna cover this dude?
I'm telling you, that's every team. Trust me, he is on the bullseye. in every coach's pre-game plan.
And if he can just pick up what Olamide Zacchaeus dropped, he's going to be that much of an improvement there. And in the blocking game, as Nomad referenced.
Well, he can do so much more than Alameda could do. Alameda, you never seen him line up in the backfield. You'll see them shift him back there, and he might run the ball here and there.
Definite upgrade.
You got that going on. They'll probably run more reverses or jet sweeps with him.
Yeah.
It's because he's a little faster, too.
He's just going to
we're not, and settle down, Donna. We're not saying that Khalif is going to be a 1,000-yard receiver. We're saying he's going to assist our other receivers to be 1,000-yard receivers.
Don't even bother talking to him because he don't know nothing about no Xavier Thomas. He's too busy staring at Detroit Lions Greg Dortch fiasco over
I'll tell you what, we'll cut him up because we got other stuff to talk about. Another guy that's I've been talking about the other day, Salvon Ahmed, is definitely turning heads, even with Kyle Manunga still out there now. He's back on the
field. That's why he's turning heads. Is why I was like, oh,
no, Kyle's back out there though.
He's out there and he's still turning heads.
They're talking about the speed.
I told y'all.
Because his Salvon Ahmed, I remember when he got hurt, it was on one of those drop hip tackles, and it tore up his ankle.
Yeah, I'll do it.
And that was the question, coming back was would he get his speed back? But with our new hire running back coach, Eric Stutzville, who obviously coached Ahmed down there with in Miami, put in a good word for him. He's here now, and now he's in camp. And because Manungai, had his soft tissue injury, he's back now. But that gave reps for Ahmed, and Ahmed seems to have made the best of those.
100%.
He's telling you, he's better looking on tape than you might think. That's all I can tell you. And him getting some opportunity here in Chicago, I think you're gonna see a lot of him in the preseason.
Wow.
And he should.
I'm not sure if that's a good thing, right? Like,
well, but that's the thing, though. Is this coaching staff like Dan Brown is any Roshan Johnson sightings yet? He got some reps today or yesterday, or whatever day that was.
Yeah. Somebody said he looked good out there.
Yeah, but the thing is, all players, first, second, third, fourth string, wherever we think they may line up, are getting looks with the ones and twos. They're alternating, left tackle. All right, Braxton, you're up. All right, Jedrick, you're up. All right, Theo, you're up. At running back, all right, Salvon, you're in. All right, Roshan, you're in. And so they are letting the players look like they decide who has earned it, who should be on the field. It's not they're icing, players out to have their favorites going. And I kind of like that about them.
It looks more intentional this year to make sure certain guys get certain amount of reps. It's like they have a better plan for it this year to make sure that everybody gets equal representation during this camp so you can evaluate. You know what I mean? So that's only right, but not every team does that.
Well, I think that was some of the self-scouting that they did from last camp. To give the equal evaluations, to give everybody, that opportunity.
Yeah, you're supposed to get better from year to year that way.
Another part is just given all the shifts and changes on the team, you kind of have to give everybody that opportunity to really see where you're at. It's also a bit of a litmus test for them as well. Just testing out these guys to see what they can do and how they fit in, and whether some of the other guys no longer fit in, right? And, AKA Roshan. So we'll see how all of these guys shake out. It's just, for me, a little bit sad to hear that Kyle Manunga isn't on the field. Hopefully everything.
He's out there now.
Yeah, he's back.
Oh, he's back. Great.
Yeah.
Like, I was just gonna say, hopefully everything's good with him, man. He gave his he he really made a name for himself last year in the NFL, and I expect that to continue in a major way this season. So all the more power to that, man. So glad to hear he's back out there, getting the job
I
done.
think we ain't done hearing this guy's name. I think he's going to be a name that keeps coming up during camp.
Well,
But now let me
I
ask you
expect
this,
him to make the
Nomad,
team,
that we're
bro.
talking about him. What is his not to put him in a box, but what is his forte? Is he a outside speed guy? He's a short yard pounder. What does he do? What is he good at?
He's definitely more an elusive outside guy.
Hmm.
Not to say that he can't get it done in the inside. He can and will, but his je ne sais quoi, you would say, is probably his ability to be able to bounce it so fast. It almost looks Jameer Gibbs like how quick he can. It reminded me of Warwick Dunn. Well, a guy that's running on the inside. Next thing you know, he sees a opening to the outside and how fast he can bounce it and really accelerate to that corner. He'll leave whoever that is that doesn't have the right angle. That's not a trait that every running back has that can bounce it and it can accelerate and go from 0 to 10 in a couple of seconds. He's got that. That's to me, that's Jameer Gibbs' superpower. He sees a corner, he sees a lane, boom, he's just gonna outrun everybody to it. And he's gone. Saw that Georgia Tech, saw that Alabama, told Aldo then that's the best running back in this draft, bar none. And
Talking
here he
about
is.
who? Gibbs?
Oh, talking about Jameer Gibbs. Ask Aldo, he'll tell you.
Brother, I said the same thing. I was really hoping that he would fall to the second so we could get him. Unfortunately, a certain team decided to jump up and snake him out from everybody. Hey, Junior.
What up,
What's
Junior?
good,
I
Junior?
thought that was
Junior,
Junior.
¿qué
That is Junior,
pasó?
ain't it? I
What's
think
good,
that's like that's
Junior?
familiar, man. That's freaking Junior. What up, Junior?
Hope
Mhm.
everything's good, dog. Sam, shout out to the missus, man. Big up.
Yeah, but he's got that kind of bounce. He can have a lane track going to the inside, not seeing what he's looking for, bump out to the side, and boom, he's off.
Yeah, he can be a dangerous asset, and
So
you know
so I'm hearing he can hit home runs.
he
He can
can.
he's like Swift that way. Swift is like that too.
I would say he's probably like I hate to say it this way, but he's like a poor man's DeAndre Swift.
A poor man's DeAndre Swift. Okay.
Yeah, he might be faster though.
I don't know about that.
No, you don't think so?
They somewhere around neck and neck with home run speed.
Well, yeah. AC is reminding us that he gashed our first string defense in preseason a couple years back when he was with Miami.
I can imagine. That was his only opportunity. He probably didn't play no more the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
That's a bad thing about being a backup running back or at least third on the depth chart is you might not never see the field.
Well, but Corny brought up a point here that kind of blends in with this. Said that Roshan doesn't fit because Ben doesn't want 5 yards in a cloud of dust. Ben wants explosive plays. And hearing Press Taylor talk, about explosive plays, points. We're all about points. Hearing Ben Johnson talk explosive plays, points. Will it come down to a fact as like, all right, we got to make a decision for running back number 3? Do we want to keep Roshan Johnson? Maybe get your 5 yards and play some special teams here and there, or do we want to have that third running back who's still a home run hitter? And so enter, Salvan Ahmed for that competition. So it just depends on what they want in that room. Do they want a room full of, hitters or what?
No,
I
it's
just
not.
know they're looking for number 3.
It's not. It's not a question of whether you have hitters. It's a question of depth, right? So last year, when both Monangai and DeAndre got hurt, it wasn't pretty. We had to go. We had to. Who did we bring in? Britton Brown.
Yeah, Britton Brown from
He's
the
You know what I'm
probably the
saying?
eye. He's probably the eye guy out.
Well, no. The other guy that's gonna be the guy that you're about to have to pay. Just like just
Listen,
be
man. One of
just
the
be real about it.
I think we have to look at it this way too, man. Because if we don't look at it this way, I think it's not really putting it in the right perspective. One of the things when you get a new running backs coach, that's one thing. He gives the I'm not going to tell you that he gave them the ultimatum, but he suggested that we go and get this guy because I've been working with him. I want to continue to work with him.
He knows what he's
I
about.
think they want to continue to work with this guy.
Well, the running backs coach definitely does, and when it comes time to have that conversation,
He gets a
I'll
little
be
say so at
damned.
the end of the day.
Well, I'm just saying, I'll be damned if he's not going to go to bat for this particular player. He made
Exactly.
sure to bring him in. So the odd man out is a guy like a Britton Brown. It's a guy like Roshan Johnson. Unfortunately, as much as folks love him, those are the two guys who are going to have to step over and above to make this roster at to be a part of that running back room. That's really all that I can say.
I would look at him similarly as I looked at DeMarco Jackson in a way. Been working with him for several years.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, you want to keep continuing. This is an opportunity for them to. He thinks something of the guy, and he brought him here, and I think they want to continue that.
I see what you mean. I mean, DeMarco was a guy that they went out and got due to injury, but at the same time, it was due to familiarity. He knew what he was getting with DeMarco, right? So that makes sense. In this case, very similar. It's a familiarity case scenario between him and the running backs coach. DeAndre ain't going nowhere. Kyle just got drafted. Everybody else, in my opinion, all bets are off. You need to beat Salvin Ahmed. You do. And
All right,
I'm not sure if that's gonna happen.
kid, you my running back coach, and we hire you, and you pull me, and we get into a room, and we start talking about needing a third running back, and you stick your hand up. You like, I know a guy.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you start waxing poetic about this guy. And right away, I'm trusting you because I brought you into the coaching staff. So obviously I do. All right, let's just for general purposes, let's turn on the tape. I start liking what you're seeing. And you start telling me, he was like this when we first got him. And over the years, I've been able to get him to understand this, understand that. I think he's right there at that point where I think he's ready to explode when given an opportunity. And I'm going to be like, say no more. Let's find a spot for him.
Well, let's get deeper into your scenario here, because why are we talking about needing a third running back in the first place when we have two more running backs?
They obviously don't like him.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Depth.
You know what I'm saying? So that being said, I expect Salvin Ahmed to make this team. He has the ear and the eye of the coaching staff already. It's really just a question of him putting it down on the field, which I believe he can do. I think Nomad's right there with me, given what he's seen. I've watched this kid play quite a bit. He's a solid back, and I think what we're man, I don't see Roshan Johnson making this team in a case scenario where he might be making money doing nothing. It's about that simple. Why would I be a shit running back? Of course, Nomad had to laugh his ass off and put that up there right away. You motherfucker, Deuce, don't give him no ammunition, man.
I can't even say nothing, man.
I had to sit with this.
That's just funny. It just came out of nowhere.
Dude, what this means, y'all? This means that Deuce is about a fifth of vodka in. It's
why you gotta go there, man?
Because I know
nobody need to know that, man.
Like my closest friend.
We know you be a shit running back coach, but we didn't need to know all that.
See, you see what happened? He just needed all he needed was your ammunition. Don't give him no fucking ammunition.
You don't have any experience doing it, so come on.
Don't give him no fucking ammunition.
Kids be up in the stands, smoking a joint, drinking a cup of coffee. Like, run that shit again, y'all.
Hey, man, I'll be screaming it like Eric Bieniemy with spit coming out.
Hey, Levante. At the end of the day, it could be. Hey, we still might not have room for him for whatever reason, but I'm just making the case the way I think they might be looking at it inside the building. That's all. But however, there's another guy that's been really making some noise in camp, especially more recently here, since the pad came on at least. This guy, Devin Bush, out there flying around, and reporter after reporter after reporter keeps telling podcasts or wherever they're broadcasting from, like, wow, the speed is really popping off the tape every time he gets out there. And then once the pass came on, he really started to make an impression out there, being physical. Everybody's heard about the hit on Luther Burden at the end of the practice. He just, they were in a goal line stance, and Caleb threw the ball into some traffic, and football is gonna be football. He smacked him. So this guy right here, again, man, might be a little more vertically challenged than the last guy we had, but this guy's going to bring a little bit more physicality to the game. And I thought Tremaine was pretty physical when he had to be, but this guy he's a well-rounded. I just want to know. I'm not sure where they're playing him. Are they playing him at Mike? They're playing him at Will. I just want to know. And so also TJ came back today, and so I want to see how that unfolds. Will they get him right back into a starting role? How is that going to look? But obviously, this guy is turning some heads in camp. Devin Bush, I thought, was a good pickup. It definitely increased our speed on team defense in a big way with him being there. He closed the space so fast. So I like to continue to see that as the pads have come on, man. Keep being physical out there. Have you heard anything about him?
Yeah, I did. I hear he might be the Will. TJ is likely to be the Mike, and or rotating with DeMarco Jackson, which leaves who at Sam? Who's the other guy who's at Sam? Shit, I just had it in my head. Now I'm blanking out. But I'm interested to see what this guy actually does bring to the table. There's a lot of good words, and I think we needed it this week, especially with what transpired earlier in the week. We kind of needed to hear that, one of these guys that they brought to the team this season has really sort of started to step up to the plate and get the job done and be communicative. And not only is he being communicative, he's moving, he's fast, and a lot of yeah, he's not as tall as Tremaine is, but I don't know how much all that height helped Tremaine out. Like, I'll just be real. So I can't say that I expect a lot from this particular player, but I'm very hopeful that that he does put down a lot.
Hey, you know what? Let me answer this question that Junior just put out there, because somebody said this to us. It had to be about a month or so ago, and I broke it down in a way that I think that everybody could kind of picture this. I think there'll be just as many interceptions only because the team speed has increased. I don't think people understand that when you got speed from front to back, it's going to increase the opportunity for balls to pop in the air and guys snatching balls out of the air. You got fast linebackers, you got fast corners, you got fast defensive linemen, you got long defensive linemen, you got strong, fast safeties. There's going to be balls popped out all the time. And one of the key things about Devin Bush that I don't think I've heard anybody speak to, but when it comes to catch point, let's just say Devin Bush deals with a lot of slant patterns and little out patterns and things like that, intermediary routes, right? And where he comes up short as far as his verticality is length, he makes up for it. He's one of the better linebackers at catch point, digging the ball out. So not high, but low. Like when that ball is on the body or on the hands at the catch point, making a play on the ball. He's one of the better linebackers I've seen on tape, if that makes any kind of sense to you. That's going to also provide a couple extra turnovers here and there because he's going to dig some balls out of there, pop some out. And so where Tremaine was at the catch point high, making some stuff happen, he'll make it a little bit lower than that because he's one of the better guys in the league I've seen it doing it. That makes sense, kids and trips?
I'm gonna go back to the question. Question was, do you think the defense will have
Yes,
as
I
many
do.
interceptions as last season? I, by no stretch of the imagination, do.
I think they will.
I think last year, as far as interceptions was concerned, was a bit of an outlier. They did some damage, as far as taking that ball away. I I I asked very early into the season last season, was, is this sustainable? And somehow they sustained it and excelled. None of the players are here anymore that really contributed to those interceptions. I can't sit here and say that that's going to happen again. If it does, more power to the Bears. We're doing well, but um, I don't know. I think the speed will attribute to many
I,
different
I,
things,
I think you
but not
underestimate.
necessarily taking
I
this.
think you underestimate what team speed can bring to the table.
Well, I think that yes, there will be team speed, picks, Bush being able to cover running backs and tight ends, being able to shut that down. But defensively, I don't know about as many turnovers, but I would not discount, the three and outs or less bending of the defense and getting off the field faster than, let's say, having to sustain, those 12 play drives and giving up field goals and such. So instead of getting a turnover or something like that, I would envision like just more three and outs or punting situations.
Trips, let me help the argument out. This is my last point before we move to the next player. And to your point, Junior, about do you think we'll be able to get as many? I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna stand on that point. I'm gonna double down on it. I'm gonna tell you why. This year, probably more than we've seen in recent history. When I say recent history, I'm talking about Alshon Jeffrey's, you know, Marshall days. When you can, this is going to be an explosive offense. When you can put up numbers, when you can put up points on cats, and you can gain a lead, chances are that team you're gonna change the dynamic of that offense that you're dealing with dramatically, and that team is going to be able to put their ears back a little bit. And so a lot of those picks are going to be coming from because they're trying to be aggressive and they're going to play right into our hands. That's why when you putting up 14, 20, 17, 21 points in a half, and the defense can play with their ears pinned back, you're going to get picks out of that. So add that to the equation too. You're going to get turnovers, you're going to get fumbles, you're going to get interceptions, you're going to get block passes, you're going to get balls popping out, all kinds of stuff because they're stressing to try to make a play. All that's a factor in whether or not you get the ball turned over or not.
I ain't saying there won't be any turnovers, and I won't say that they won't be attributed to speed, but the sheer number of turnovers that this team had last year is going to be very hard to repeat, especially without any of that cast. I don't know how else to say that. Like I would have to see it to believe it. You love
What up,
this.
FFG?
You love it.
What up, FFG?
And he's
What up, D
laughing.
Nice?
You son of a bitch, man. You're fucking
Leave me
hilarious.
alone.
You motherfucker.
He got him riled up.
You motherfucker.
All
It's
right,
so
all right,
funny.
all right. Easy now. He's just playing.
I know he's
Also,
playing. He's hammered. Like if you if you check out what he's got, what he's typing up there, it's pretty funny, but it's okay.
damn, did I just do that? Also, as I thought he would, popping off the screen, popping off the
My boy
field. I
from
mean,
Ottawa, Canada, man. My young
never
boy.
got one more. And I heard somebody ask because when the reporters are asking about this guy in the pressers, it's like, what are we doing talking about a backup D tackle? It's because he's popping off out there. I've heard multiple reporters, podcasters that have been out there to practice, talk about this guy, and even more as the pads have come on. Excuse me. But this guy, I told you, And Dennis Allen actually spoke to it, and he was just like, you know what surprises me about him? He's a little more sudden. He's way more sudden than I ever thought he was before we even got him here. And what did I talk about when we got Neville Gallimore? What did I keep saying? This guy really can get off the ball. And that's going to increase the defensive. That guy, right? This guy in particular, I'm not shortchanging Kentavia Street and the other guy that we just got too. But
Lynch.
this guy, what is his name? James Lynch. Yeah. I'm telling you, Neville Gallimore was a steal. And the more and more I look at it on tape, I think Neville's going to get paid sooner or later. He's going to get a nice contract, man. And I'm telling you, he's turning heads, and I think he's going to be a pivotal point at what we do. We just got way faster up front by way of his presence alone.
You're right. The kid has get off. He has the stuff that Javon doesn't have. And I'm not trying to sit here and say that Neville's better than Javon or anything like that. I'm just saying it's different stuff. Neville has get off. All the time that we've been sitting around saying, you know, Javon needs to work on his get off. Where's Javon's get off? It's year 3.
He's got motor, kids.
I know.
Serious motor.
I'm just saying that, you know, I haven't watched this kid play football in the NFL a lot, but I watched him play football as a child. I know exactly what you're getting, and it's just a question of whether he's able to get on the field in a regular rotation, because you guys are going to see what it is. And then you're going to start to ask the question, how come Javon can't do that? That's all it's going to be.
Before we go to you know, kicking ding-dings, man, I'm trying to get his guys flowers.
No,
he's a let me just give him some flowers, man, because you're taking it the wrong direction. This guy, number one, he's not playing the same position as Javon right now. Number two, he's not built like Javon.
No, he's not.
Neville Gallimore is a goddamn bowling ball with razor blades on it right now, because he's fast, he's quick, he's just naturally gifted that way, explosive, and I kept going back and looking at his tape and rewinding stuff. I'm like, why is he constantly beating these guys? It's because he's built so low to the ground and just rounded and powerful. You know, he's already at the access point with his height. That's what makes him different. He's shaped like a goddamn bowling ball, and he's quick and he's fast and he's strong as shit. 2 different body types, 2 different results. Javon will work you and get to the point where he needs to get to. It's going to take him longer because he's just bigger. This guy gets right up under you. He jumps gaps and you can't do shit about it. If he beats you initially and you don't get your hands firmly on this guy, he's gone. He's in your backfield. Neville Gallimore is a spark plug, and we need that kind of guy in this defense. We need a disruptor. And that's exactly what he brings to the table. For this defense to work, we need that 3 technique to be he needs to be an MFer, bro.
He's gonna be, and you're gonna see it. You know, no, he's not built the same as Javon. They have completely different body styles and play styles, but you're gonna see him in the backfield. That's all I'm saying. I know you will.
As long as he can stop the run and he can get some pressure when necessary, I'm down with it, because, you know, the way the NFL is, he's gonna get reps because D line's, you know, rotating, you know, 8 deep nowadays, you know, 2 different lines. So he's gonna get reps, and he's hopefully gonna, you know, get his opportunity like the rest of them to rest up. So when we get to the 4th quarter and we need a defensive line that is fresh enough to compete, we don't have to worry about, well, we can't do anything because Montez Sweat isn't out there. And, you know, he's our guy that has been able to, you know, not been able to, but he's like the top defensive lineman, and he's tired because he's been, you know, running so many reps throughout the game. Being able to alternate, keep your D lineman fresh, keeps the defense fresh. So, Mr. Gallimore, we would love to welcome you in because with the way Nomad described his get off, his motor, his activity, it's like he's a let's call him a Andrew Billings, replacement. A little big guy, that goes to the echo of the whistle.
And he's fun to watch, man. Even at Oklahoma, I remember, him. He was like when they needed to make a play, that guy was always in that backfield. And I don't know how he got washed, got moved around, and not. I think it took him a while to adjust to the size and the speed of the NFL. And since he got it, and now he's just on the uptrend. Like I'm telling you guys, like all these guys that we just got, they're on the upswing. So they're just getting to that point, like Contavious Street, for example. We're not talking about him right now, but just for example, came out of college as an edge rusher, built his body into being a D tackle. And again, like anybody else, he's got to get used to NFL size, speeds, and techniques and all that kind of stuff. Get his bag right, and then you can really perform and make yourself a name for yourself on somebody's roster. And I think all three of those guys, even I say less about that with James Lynch because I don't know all that about him. But those two in particular, these two in particular, Neville, I always liked him. I just thought he was just in bad situations where he just wasn't going to get a whole lot of opportunity. He's going to get that opportunity here. And we're going to love him. I'm telling you, he's going to be one of our favorites.
Let's go.
I could show some tape, man, tonight, Dan, but I ain't got that much time. I got to get out of here, man. We can get through going through some of these guys that are standing out in camp, but I wish I could get to some more of that. But I see some stuff on tape that I want to share with y'all all the time. And maybe you get a better understanding of why I get so geeked about some of these dudes.
He's been looking better and better since, like, he started to look a bit better in his later years in Dallas. But this last little stint at Indianapolis, he really started to show out.
He was like that when DeForest Buckner went down. He was like,
now
"Oh,
he has
yeah."
the opportunity, you know what I mean? And now he's on the field, and you get to see it, and it's just a question of giving him that opportunity again. And in this case, it'll be in rotation, like in a rotational case scenario. And I'm just saying, you guys are gonna see. You guys are gonna see. You're going to see Neville Gallimore. He's always been a bowling ball, always been in the backfield, and he's always been a bit of a powerhouse for the stature and size that he has. So I expect to see nothing less.
You know how when these guys run through contact and, they break through the line and start chasing the play down. And next thing you know, they're in a collision with the other guy that's chasing the play down. Guess who always gets up? Let me knock on wood. The people just bounce off that too.
He has that kind of like that's the size he is.
Yeah, he's just strong for no damn reason. I wouldn't run into him, man, at all. I'm gonna make friends with Neville. One of the first friends I'm gonna have on that team is Neville, because I ain't pissing him off. He's just strong for no damn reason. Just ridiculous, man. Look at him, man. That ain't fat on him. That's muscle.
He's just solid. Like,
yeah,
solid. If you like, that's the best word you could use for the guy.
He knows the problem.
He's a great kid too, man.
Of course, we've been hearing about this guy right here. Every day I'm hearing a great Coast and Loveland catch. What's funny about this is I got all these guys as images and graphics for all these guys, and I could not find a Coast and Loveland. I'm like, what the hell? How do I have a Coast and Loveland? Anyway, made one up, man. This guy's been showing out in this camp. Pivotal part of this offense. You can be for sure this guy's gonna have a whole bunch of catches this year. And it sounds like the relationship between him and Caleb wasn't forced. They really spent time together, really made sure that they start dialing in together. And I don't know who's initiating this, but I'm glad I'm hearing about these stories about them hooking up out in LA and passing together because it's just gonna get better and better and better. Just got to remember, man, they're at the beginning of this relationship. This is they're building trust with each other that's gonna last us for years. And he's just hard to deal with, man. Every day I'm hearing about different guys they're trying to match up with Colson and can't nobody really guard him because he's so big and so long and so athletic. He's just a unique guy. I think we might be dealing with your next Jason Kelsey kind of guy. Not Jason
Jason or
Kelsey, but
Travis?
the other one, the other Kelsey,
Travis.
Travis. Yep.
Well, that was the question asked separately to Caleb Williams and to Colson Loveland, and they both kind of gave the same response, which was, yeah, someone asked Caleb about Colston, and Caleb said, yeah, I think Colston could possibly be, one of the, best tight end in the league. And somebody asked Colston about Caleb, and Colston was like, "Yeah, I think Caleb could possibly be, one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the league." And you got these young guys at their positions, doing the do, growing, developing together. You got Colston Loveland running tight end routes, wide receiver routes, all over the field, making a name for himself in the community out there, doing guest spots with the Wiener Circle back there, serving up some char cheddar dogs and such. Uh, you know, Off the field, on the field, he's embraced and welcomed into the community. He's become part of the community. And on the team, he is, quietly become one of the better, players. And this is what, year two? So yeah, the possibilities are are endless of what, you know, Colston can develop into as a tight end and football player.
I just like where it's going. It still was a surprise to me that they went and drafted a guy this high, but quickly my mind went to after this pick was made. Oh, Ben Johnson is making sure he assembles all the pieces that he thinks he needs offensively, so he can check his boxes first. And there's a lot of us, like myself, maybe you two at the same time when we was doing the draft, like, okay, when does Dennis Allen get to eat? Come on now, he needs some pieces too. But now the picture is a way more clear after a season of exactly what he's trying to do. He's an offensive coach. His basically his record is going to determine whether or not he stays as a Chicago Bears coach. He can't afford to
Ben
come up
Johnson?
Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson. We nobody knew that he was going to be a successful coach here, but he got it together. He knew what he had to do first to, I think it was about getting Caleb the pieces that he needs so the offense can click in the way that they needed it to click. And he turned out to be right. He proved everybody right.
I hear what you're saying. Man, Ben Johnson is you know what I mean. He's like the
He
furthest
is
place.
now, Chris. I'm talking about at the beginning.
No, I'm with you. I'm just saying he's the furthest place from like being on any sort of hot seat. He could, they could shit the bed completely this season, as long as certain aspects of football are achieved. I think we're still in a great place. Like I'll just say it, because I think one of the most important facets of just having Ben Johnson here as a coach is just the fact that you know, I think there's belief in what he's trying to do from everybody. You nailed something though, and that is, when does Dennis Allen get to eat? I think if anybody might be on a little bit of shaky ground, it might unfortunately be the guy who didn't really get to eat food, you know, these last two seasons. So I'm just hoping that at some point, either on a diet, this defense Dials up.
Kids, I take a little. That feels wrong to me for only this reason. Since he's gotten here, he got here, and he's probably dealt with more of the next guy's personnel, the last guy's personnel, than anybody else. Number one. Number two, they've been unhealthy.
Yep.
Number three, they're still unhealthy. And so I ain't so quick on that tip with Dennis Allen until I see him fully assemble his soldiers. I want to see a fully assembled arsenal of guys that he needs before I start making judgments about him. He hasn't had what he needed.
It's not really me making judgments about Da. I'm just stating it so that folks don't make those obvious judgments. He needs to have the opportunity to get his players. And once more, he didn't get his players this season. Nor did he get them last season, because as you said, he was stuck with Flus's players. Now most of them are gone, and he really hasn't, he's only in short had the opportunity to bring some of his own folks in. I don't think we're there yet with Da. I also strangely don't think Da is going to be on the hot seat per se. I think if things don't work out in that respect, it's just hey, we have to accept that we did not give this guy what he needed to get the job done, and now we have to do that. And off they go and rectify the situation.
It's almost like judging Ben Johnson if he didn't have DJ or he didn't have DeAndre Swift last year. Kind of.
Well, it's not, because he would have been
Grady Jarrett.
He would have been judged, you know what I mean? But like
Grady Jarrett and Jalen Johnson gone.
Yeah, like I say, I don't know.
That
offensive coach, like that head coach situation, he would have been he would have been judged no matter what. I'm just glad that he was being judged in a winning situation, a situation that he was able to turn around. For all intents and purposes. This situation with Da, I feel, I know what you mean, man. Like, I kind of feel bad for him. And like I say I feel bad, and I don't know if you've watched these last couple of Da
he's spicy.
Pressers. He's pissed off, bro.
I don't blame him.
I don't either. I feel bad, right? Because he's now got to defend this shit. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to defend it. And for all intents and
dumbass questions too. Like,
they're not. No, I can't
say.
They
ask dumb fucking questions.
I can't say the
They're asking him, "What do you expect out of this guy? What do you mean? What I expect out of him? I expect him to get better. You idiot! Shut up." That's a real question. I'd have been asking, okay, with your depth rotation, it seems like you got kind of a log jam, and it seems like maybe you want to kick Dio in for some more reps on the interior. How do you quantify that with Javon and Neville and all these other guys? I'd have been asking questions like that.
That's a good question. Even then, I can't blame them. You know what? Maybe I can blame. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, right? They haven't given the guy what he needs. Everybody fucking knows it. So they're kind of pouring salt in the wound. So I see what you mean, man, and
it's always this gotcha shit going on. I don't like it, man.
It's not even a gotcha. It's the wound's open. I have a canister of salt. Should I pour or not pour? Like
the guy walks to the podium knowing that no, we didn't have a great showing last year, and it's on me. Okay, how about you just take that and ask me some things that's prevalent to right now. How do we? I mean, give me some good questions. Give me something to chew on here. But they some assholes, man.
Unfortunately, the obvious questions are the obvious questions. Like, how are you going to fix X, Y, and Z without having done X, Y, and Z? The answer is I'm just going to get pissed off and yell a little bit because, like, I don't really have an answer for this until y'all see it live and direct in September.
I'll ask him, when do you expect Kyler back? Like, motherfucker, I don't know. Yeah, I know about as much as you do.
That's the same answer Ben Johnson had.
Like, he's got He's got a soft tissue injury, and you asking me when do I expect him back? I don't fucking know. He's back when he's back.
Yeah,
Well,
like
do
I
you
said,
think that's a good? No, it's not good. What dumbass question was that?
I don't blame him for being pissed off and snippy. Fucking assholes, man.
and like I said, I don't.
They don't have good minds, man, when it comes to football. It's just guys that have a mic and a platform. And okay, this is my opportunity to try to put him on the spot kind of thing. And it's not qualified. They need people in there that can ask good qualified questions that can make the coach really dig in there and think about what that reporter just asked him. But they ain't qualified, man. Most of them.
Yeah,
Herb and
you're
a couple
asking a
other
little
guys.
bit
That's it.
much. You're asking a little bit much. Like you know what it is though, man. And you kind of
It's
nailed it
dumb, man.
again. You said it's they're asking gotcha questions. That's exactly what they're asking because they want to be able to come back and go, well, you said that, and this didn't happen.
Put something in
Gotcha.
quotes.
You know what I mean? Gotcha, bitch.
Put
That
something in
that's
quotes.
that's exactly what they're trying to do, and to a degree, I understand where they're
It
coming
just, it
from.
just it just bugs me, man, because
It
it's
should.
it's hard for me to listen to the pressure sometimes because I'm just like gritting my teeth, like, ah, damn, why you let this motherfucker? And it's not what I'm looking to hear when if I'm standing there, I'm not gonna ask like 95% of the stuff that they asking in there because it doesn't make any difference. It's stupid questions. Like what the? No wonder they get pissed off when they have to go to the podium. Ben
Well,
is like that too at times too.
who, Ben?
Oh yeah.
No, I kind of I appreciate that about both of these guys. They're very no nonsense. Like Ben is no nonsense whatsoever. Um, but I like the fact that Da will lash out. Here's what I don't like. I don't like the fact that Da is in a position that he feels he has to lash out. Know what I mean?
It's like it's almost like you're in a shark tank when you
Mm-hmm.
when you got negativity surrounding you because everything now that the reporters want to go ask is based off of all the negativity they see on social media. So if they got a whole bunch of Twitter followers and shit like that, they're saying a bunch of lame ass shit in the comment section, they're kind of beholden to those people. You know what I mean? And it's just dumb to me. That's why I stay out of that damn swamp. It's just nasty, negative, and they're looking to get something on quote, something they can hold over their heads. It's just not right, man. I just wish they didn't put them up there for that long to have to answer all those questions, especially doing when you're trying to go to a camp. Give them 5 minutes. Give me a couple questions, and I'm walking away. Fuck it. If you don't get something answered, too bad. Hopefully you get in there next time. It's dumb, man.
Yeah. Like I said, I
It's
feel
kids. It's almost as dumb as putting players in front of a podium and a microphone right after they lose and they're hot. That's dumb. The adrenaline hasn't worn off yet.
I see what you mean.
It's a train
And
crash
to
waiting to
be
happen, bro.
yeah, to be frank with you, I'm more inclined to like I'd be more inclined to put the microphone in front of that coach. Like the coaches should be able to articulate himself and
Even him,
manage,
shit.
you know, player in that scenario. Yeah, I can see a player losing his shit. I might likely be that player who lost his shit, live and direct
Especially when
on
somebody
national
asks you something
TV.
dumb, man. Like how you feel right after. Why the fuck you think I feel?
Yeah.
You'll get that from time to time. One of the players will come right out and say that. That's a stupid ass question. How the fuck you? How would you feel?
Some of the players like that exact thing has been known to happen. I'll say more frequently in the NBA than anywhere else. You know what I mean? But it has been known to happen. End of the day though, um, I don't know. Like I feel bad for DA in these situations. I really do wish that he had some answers to some of these unknowns. And I don't mean, pulling answers out of his ass and making shit up. I mean, like, I wish that his team sort of supported him a little bit better to have those answers. Unfortunately, it is what it is, and fortunately for the offense, it is what it's going to be. And I think we're going to have a little bit of a, let's call them the reverse Bears. This is going to be an offensive powerhouse as opposed to a defensive stalwart. Something we haven't seen in a long time, and it's going to be fucking exciting. I'm stoked.
And the last thing, man, some of these guys, and they try to, they think they're so smart. They think they're so smart sometimes, and I'm just reading through their shit when they're up there. It's just like, man, why don't you just come right out and say what the fuck you want to say instead of trying to be with the word salad, man. Just say it. We thought your defense sucked, and we think you should be on the hot seat. What are you going to do about it this year? That's what you should say. That's what they want to say to him. And that's unfortunate, man. But I'm gonna leave that alone for now because it'll get me pissed off, and I'm no good as a podcast when I get pissed like that. Here's another guy that's really sticking out, of course. LB3. Every day I keep hearing stuff about him, and he keeps raising the bar every time. Luther Burden, whenever he goes to the podium, he's filtered a little bit, but there's a little unfiltered there, Tripp. Wouldn't you agree? Because he keeps raising his own bar. He keeps saying stuff like, "I want to be the best."
Well, but he also keeps, working off the field. He keeps working on the field. He is, from what I can tell, very understanding of his playbook. He is comfortable getting open, physically against whatever defender. His bravado, his confidence, is just sky high, and that's one of the attributes Ryan Poles looks for in players is the wanting to be great at football. And we see it, we hear it, we feel it from many of these players. But LB3, Darth Burton, exudes it, wanting to be great. And there is nothing that we've seen in his game that says that he can't be.
Hey, you know what, Trips? I don't know, Ked, you wouldn't know nothing about this unless you did a little homework, but you can easily find it now. Just because you're in Canada don't mean you can't learn what I'm about to say. Little quiet secret about Illinois. East St. Louis.
East Boogie.
Yep, East Boogie is where Luther's from. And in the football world, these are the ones I wanted to play so bad, but we never got a chance to play them when I was in high school. This is the only team in the state of Illinois that can match us with speed. The only team in Illinois. And they were like that every single year. And they're still like that.
Yeah, because I'm a few generations older than Nomad. And East St. Louis every year, state football finals, championships, just kicking ass. And it continued, and this is one of the fruits of those labors that went on to Mizzou, which was a few hours away from where he was, but now he's back in his home state, and so far it looks like sky is the limit for this kid.
And if you know anything about them East St. Louis kids, they athletic, tough, and they cocky. So Luther is exactly that. And I ain't saying cocky in a bad way. I ain't gonna say cocky. He's confident as F. And I like that.
Well,
because he's willing to back it up.
Because wasn't he in school with kid from Detroit?
Who? What?
Jameson.
J-Mo?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think J-Mo's from Boogie too.
Yeah, they went to high school together.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think J-Mo is from Boogie.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So can you imagine being a defensive back? Having to play these kids.
I'd have loved to
You
play.
got Jameson Williams. You got Luther Burden. It's like, yeah, I'm sick, coach.
Them the guys I needed to play. They was more like the college guys that I'm gonna have to go against on the next level. Whenever we got a chance to play teams like this, we had some around the state. Some guys that a lot of teams around the state that had college talent, man. But East St. Louis was loaded all over the place, and so yeah, we just never was able to match up with them. But we seen them a lot in tournaments, 11 on 11, 7 on 7. Almost got to scrapping with a couple of them cats too, man, because they so goddamn cocky. But I just wanted to get with them on the field just to see. I think we could have got him.
Yeah, but the thing is, not only was their offense fast with skill position, the defense was fast too at all those positions. So it wasn't like, well, if we can contain their offense, we're good. Referring to East St. Louis, it's like, nah, it's good on both sides of the ball. And special teams will run one back on your monkey ass if you wasn't paying attention.
You'll see. Hey, kids, you should probably turn on some East St. Louis. All right, so you got East St. Louis Senior, and you got East St. Louis Lincoln. I can't remember which one is which, but look for the Flyers, whichever those are. I think that's where Luther came from.
That's the team he played for?
I think so.
Okay.
Look for that name right there. But yeah, I just knew we was gonna play them in the playoffs, but we never got to them.
AC Adams says Flyers.
Yep, Flyers. Yeah, they the shit in Illinois, man. It's like every year they're gonna be the favorite to win it all.
So wait, what you're telling me now is is LB3 from Illinois originally?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
East St. Louis.
East St. Louis is in Illinois. It's down at the bottom of Illinois.
Okay. I did not know that.
Talent haven down there.
All I know is the league screwed up, man. I'm just telling you right now.
Hey, trust me, it's about 5 or 6 more of them motherfuckers coming right behind him.
Damn.
But if we can, have an offense that now is, you got Luther Burden talking about, he wants to be the greatest wide receiver. You got Colston Loveland, he could possibly be, a great or one of the greatest tight ends. And, Caleb Williams, who knows what that ceiling can be. So the coming together of these skill positions on offense is something that I think will be a sight to behold, with that head coach football cycle mentality of, we want to score a lot of points all the time. And Luther Burden, what role he will be, is he going to be a deep guy? Yes. Is he going to be a short guy? Yes. Is he going to be an intermediate guy? Yes. I think he is going to run routes all over the field, and his silky smooth releases and footwork is going to get him open. And we know what kind of, player he is with the ball in his hands. What's the term? Joystick-ish. So, yeah, Luther Burden, stock, buy.
Hey, only thing with Luther Burden, and I'm not gonna pre-predict the problem. I just want to make sure he's satisfied, because in this offense, you're gonna have to be quiet for a couple games sometimes. And what I mean by be quiet, the ball might not come to you as much. And can you handle it? That's the only thing. He's used to being ball dominant. I hope he's at the point where he understands that, play by play, it come to you when it come to you. The ball gonna find you when it's time. That's the way you have to look at it, because if you don't, you can hurry up and find yourself in a whole bunch of gripe privately, and sometimes it shows up. So that's the only thing about Luther I would ever worry about. But so far, he's been pretty poised, man.
Well, I think there was actually a question that kind of alluded to that. Having a lot of mouths to feed in the wide receiver room. And he was just basically like, whatever. I'll get mine when I get mine, but as long as we win and we get ours, we're good.
Yeah.
So they recognize the fact that it's like, man, we got some talent in this room. I'm not going to be able to just, get my 1,500 yards and call it a season. It's like, nah, the ball got to go to him. The ball's going to go to him. And then if, let's say, Burton has a game on tape now that defensive coordinators for subsequent weeks are studying that and go like, all right, we're going to take this away. We're going to double team Burton on this and here. And then that leaves Rome. That leaves Loveland. That leaves the running backs. And now it's like, well, shit, we can't keep, double teaming this Burton kid because all these other guys are killing us or unaliving us, excuse me. So now subsequent games, now they go back to double teaming Rome or double teaming somebody else, leaving Luther again to eat. So there will be ebbs and flows of when they get the ball just based on the defense. And if defense is double covering Luther, that means single coverage is someplace else, and it's up to Caleb to find them.
That's a whole other threshold that he's gonna have to cross. Is when that day comes when they do start taking him out of games, how he responds to that is going to be important because sometimes that turns into some physical stuff on the field. You get frustrated. That's one thing, but let's just say he breaks out in one of these in the next season or two, one of them 13 and 1,500 yard seasons. If the next season doesn't complement that, now we're pushing into contract year. He's going to be pissed. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everybody wants him to break out, but if he does, and those looks don't keep coming back to him like that, and he can't get his numbers pushing in the contract year, he's going to be hot.
Hey Jimmy, can you hear me, man? Give me a check 1 2 if you can hear me, man. Hopefully my mic situation is a little bit better now. I kind of expect this guy to eat in a different way. Watch him win with Yak this season. I don't think he's going to get an extreme amount of target share. I'll be frank with you.
It's going to be wrong.
I don't think he's going to get a large amount of target share. I think it's going to be a lot of mouths to feed, like Tripp said, and I think the ball gets thrown all over the yard. But I think this guy wins with Yak. I think he's going to get some shorter yardage wins that turn into big plays, and that's how he's going to make his name in the NFL. And I'm just, a big time knock on this one, knock on wood on this one. That's what I see for Luther Burton. I think some special shit is about to pop off for this particular player, and I've been calling for this for a little while because I don't think this guy is supposed to be here. But since he's here, I think he's about to blow the fuck up.
It's always interesting to me, kids and Trips, how when a guy does earn enough cachet in his play and his performances that he garners a double team. How they respond to it is always interesting to me. Because some people start shutting down. Some people, fight a little harder to make a play. And then some people just relish in it because they get double teamed every time. They know the ball ain't going to come their way a lot. And so they do things and they find other ways to enjoy the game. And that's a psychological thing more than it is anything else. Is how do you find ways, like I tell you, for instance, playing corner and you the island lockdown corner on the left side. I was. And in high school, there was some lonely ass games, man. And I hated it. Lonely, bro. Ball ain't coming your goddamn way. And I want to make plays. So you got to wait. You just never know when it's going to come, but you got to try to stay ready, keep yourself in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's that kind of psychological thing. You got to be strong mentally to keep focused, because you start thinking about yourself, and you start thinking, ain't no iron team, man. There ain't no time to be crying and whining about when ain't going right for you. You play the game. You know what I mean? So that's a thing, man. Just know it. Just know
No,
that's
no,
a real thing.
I'm in full agreement with you, and that's why I said, I've been quoted as saying that I'll be surprised if it's not like an 800-yard split between everybody. Basically, I would be hard pressed to see somebody really breach that 1,000 yards, because there's the ball's just going to wind up everywhere, right? But I have a feeling this is the player who's going to do it. I have a feeling that the way that he's going to do it is simply by owning his touches and extending the yardage outside of what he normally would be getting just from the catch rate, uh, from the passing yards alone, right? He's going to extend that out in yak, and I think we're going to be shocked shitless when we see it.
All
I
right.
can't wait.
We probably hit my threshold for this is a special edition of some extra sauce where we went all Bears, because this it's just a lot of energy around the team right now, especially after the pads came on. And I'm loving this part of the season, because now within about a week or two, I'd say about we got about another solid week and a half before you might see us some kind of shakeup. Some guys start to emerge, and the left tackle competition will probably hit its crescendo. Um, do we have enough in the edge rusher room? Do we need to do something there? What about the nickel cornerback? What about the safety? What are we gonna do about that? In the next week and a half, we're gonna find out some things. Which is why, when people ask us, I think I asked you two guys, if there's a move to be made, what do you think those things? Where do you think it'll be a move made? And we said several things. And so now you're starting to see that it might get real in the field as far as some of these moves that have to be made out here. If we ain't showing up in practice, and we ain't showing up in preseason as far as what we need to do defensively, I think there needs to be a move made or two. Um, Offensively, I just want to see a guy just take that, like Press Taylor was talking about in his presser, take the bull by the horns and own that job. And right now, you can give Braxton the lead right now. But I think as the pads go on, I think healthy Jedrick Wills, watch that. I maintain that thought, man. I think that's a thing to watch, man. So keep an eye on that, how many reps they getting and how they doing. Keep an eye on Karan. Theo is pretty much set. They want him taking right tackle reps too. Who knows? He might get in that mix too. But I think they be doing the rest of those guys a disservice by throwing another guy over there right now. It's more important to me, I think, to get Theo that right side experience and making sure you got something solidified behind Darnell, in my opinion.
And in your given your opinion, you spent a lot of time sort of touting Braxton Jones in one way, shape, or form. For you to say Jedrick Wills here today is not surprising to me, because I think Jedrick Wills is going to be the guy who winds up with the job too.
I mean, he's a blue chip talent, man. If
That's
he's
what I'm
healthy,
trying to say. I'm saying the exact same thing. I
that
think
guy
this is a
wasn't drafted in the
question.
first round for nothing.
This is what I'm trying to say. I'm saying if we're looking at two guys coming off of injury, both Jedrick and Braxton. Braxton is familiar with the team, familiar with the players, but pedigree is pedigree, man. We're talking about a first round selection for a reason, and if he has anything to say about it, I think he's gonna make his impression felt sometime next week. So keep your keep your eyes peeled. I think this starts to happen real soon for Jedrick Wills at that left tackle position, and just keep in mind that because Braxton is under contract, he ain't going anywhere. So there's your swing, right? So I think everybody should be hoping Jedrick Wills takes a job, so that Braxton is definitely your swing and or just dedicated backup left tackle come worse to worse. But we have somebody who's now showing and proving a little bit differently.
By the way, I think your backup left tackle should be paid.
Me too.
I think your backup quarterback should be paid.
He is.
So, just for the record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're in good, a good place with those two positions right now. But it's truly just competition at left that we got to worry about on offense. The defense, given where you were a minute ago, I think the best move is going to be at safety now. The amount of safeties we've looked at over the course of the last few months, I was scratching my head. I did not think we would be in this particular situation, and here we are. And now, dollar for dollar, I think you can find yourself a fantastic safety and sort of dedicate Cam Lewis to that nickel spot up until when
You, you
Kyler
know,
decides to come back.
kids, I kind of selfishly want them to wait and for my own reasons because I do believe probably a little bit more in Elijah Hicks than most people. I
Really?
do, I do think
That's surprising as shit, given how many safeties you tried out. I didn't expect you to say that at all.
I do think he's at that point in his career where he's ready to emerge, kind of. And I
Man,
think,
but he's hurt right now too.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would like to see him come back, and then if he's not showing what they're looking for in whatever way, then you feel the need to make a move, then do it. But I want to see that guy get an opportunity before they start jumping and going ham with it.
I think you're gonna get your opportunity there because I honestly don't expect them to make a move until like just before the season starts, if they're going to, for the simple fact that somebody else could be injured. Right? Something else could go on. They may have to even skirt over this as a general idea and address something else. So before they go in and put eggs in that particular basket, I think you get your wish. I think they wait. I think they see if Elijah is the guy for the job, and we figure it out from there.
All right, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it because I got to go. Um, I wish I could stay longer tonight, man, but I really can't, man. I did the best we could tonight. And I appreciate these guys for jumping in on me. We sorry about the technical difficulties. Kids started it. He came into the show with his volume wrong, and that just got everything all topsy turvy.
I love how it's all my fault. That's
It
awesome.
was this time, technically.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
But
always the asshole.
Hey man, good show, man. We got to do what we love to do, man. We did Bears the whole show, man. So that's not a bad night.
Right on. Well, big up to everybody. Kids always go through, but hey, just gotta give a shout out to the Red Baron because I just came across an email. I don't know if it was spam or not. I don't know, but it was from Winchell's Donut House, and it was just persona non grata list, and Scrolls' name was on there because I guess supposedly, allegedly, they accuse him of going in there talking about, let me get a jelly filled, and they was like, you want strawberry, raspberry, you want cherry? He was like, nah, I want ain't flow flavor. And then they looked at him and said, please leave and don't come back.
Holy shit.
Wow.
I don't want to hear no more of that.
Neither the Scrolls.
Some stuff you bank in your mind trips, you probably want to put a void on that.
He just wanted to get it and smear it all over his face. I don't know.
Put a void on that shit.
Like, hey, we're in jail.
Golly.
I think that Winchell stuff us down.
You got a Winchell down the street.
Lee, some of the shit you commit to memory trips, man. I want you to go see somebody, man. That's what I want you to do. Go see somebody.
Yeah, that's too funny.
But yeah, big up to everybody. And I know it's Wednesday and we're getting out of here, but Motor City, check it out. It's not big on dialogue, words and stuff, but they get the message across.
That's not surprising. You said Motor City, not big on words? Okay.
Also, y'all, go see.
We've seen Don Burst text, so that makes perfect sense.
Shut up, man. Hey, look, also, man, go check out some Marlon Sewell tape, man. We just signed that guy I want you guys to go judge when you look at a little more tape. Go look at some more Vandy tape, and it might be a little bit of and I haven't found it yet, but it could be some Kansas City preseason stuff out there. But if it is, I will find it. We'll go check out some more Marlon Sewell. That's the newest guy we added to the roster. We cut Jonathan Garvin, one of the edge rushers that's been here for a couple years. And so got that to think about. I feel solid with that pickup, more than I do anything about going out and getting another safety. I want to see how that one plays out. I just want to see. So we got some other guys on the roster that's going to be giving some spin. And about a week from now, they'll be playing a preseason game about a week or so. And so we'll get a chance to see some of these guys live and in living color and judge them from there. But that's that, man. Any last word before we go ahead and shut this thing down? Because I do got to roll.
Yeah, man. Just some quick love, man. Love to Junior, man. Good to see you back with us, man.
Yeah,
Good to have you,
good to see
Junior.
you, bro.
Levante Scrolls, AC Adam, Dan Brown, who held it down with us all night long. True Pilgrim, BT9, Jimmy Silas, man. Good to see you, Jimmy. Hope you like, share, subscribe. FFG was with us tonight. And Foster Covers was with us tonight. Shout out to Foster and the guys over at Bears Country. Deuce, man. Big ups to you mother. Who else we got, man? A couple more people I want to thank. Oh yeah, no love for Don Burr and big love for Joseph Archer, man. We'll leave it right there, and we'll catch you on Sunday with more Bear stuff, and then next Wednesday regular extra sauce the way we normally do.
Yeah, right. Make sure that you are subscribed to all three of the channels, the Nomad Network, at Kids of Canuck and Sport Chicago Style, or at RRSCS. Find us there on YouTube with the subscribes and the likes. Please and thank you. Much appreciated.
All right, man. Again, make sure you subscribe to all three channels. Hit a like. Hit a share, just share the content more than anything else, and hit the like button so it gets out there to the community so other people get to see it. The more likes, the more better. If you want to subscribe, it's totally free. It costs you nothing on all three channels. We would appreciate it. I have a quick thought before we get out of here. I'm gonna be real quick with it. Somebody reached out to me about some support with one of their young ones, or two. Okay, yeah, it's two of them. Whether you're a parent or a grandparent, I just want to throw this out here as a thought and maybe consider this, especially the parents, but even the grandparents too. I think this is something I think anybody should be able to put in their wallet or in their purse and carry it around with them. Everybody loves their children. Everybody loves their grandchildren. Mean the world to them. And giving them things is one thing. Having them earn it is another thing. Also, don't be shy about putting your children or your grandchildren in uncomfortable situations to see if they can swim. What do I mean by that? The easier you make it for them, that's what they will expect when they go out into the world. So as much as you comforting that child, that grandchild, and fluffing pillows around them, you're not really doing that child no favors. Put them in uncomfortable situations so they learn how to function when they're uncomfortable. Put them in uncomfortable situations. Make them go out and do things like in the hot heat. Make them sweat. They ain't gonna die. Make them sweat. Make them fight through it. You know what happens when you teach them that way? They learn how to find their reserves early. They learn how to dig in. And what you're doing, kind of indirectly, but directly, is teaching them what the real world is about. They got to swim. They got to swim. And a lot more times than not, for a lot of people, you're going to be in uncomfortable situations and you still got to function. Don't nobody care that you're upset. Don't nobody care that you're hurting. Don't nobody care that you're drowning. Don't nobody care. Learn how to function and find solutions. Dig in. And so, just to give you a little sidebar into the conversation I'm having with somebody, and it made a whole lot of sense to them. Stop coddling these children. Coddle them when you can and when you need to, but make them learn how to swim. The real world will thank you for them later because it builds steel in a kid, builds character in a kid. They know how to reach into that other gear that they didn't know they even had. I'm telling you right now, you're giving them something that he can take for the rest of his life, she can take for the rest of their life. They know how to reach in there and grab out what they need. They got it. They just don't know they got it because you won't let them reach for it because you're going to coddle them. Stop doing that. Make them uncomfortable. Just a word to the people that have children and grandchildren. You ain't helping them by giving them everything in the world. Make them struggle a little bit because that's what the world is full of. But we want to thank you before we get out of here. Appreciate you guys. Love you all. Appreciate everybody with the super chats and the gifts. Keep that coming. We need it right now because we are not monetized for maybe another week or two because YouTube stuff. But we appreciate you all. But I got to go, and I want to leave you all with these famous words. Love, peace, and hair grease, y'all.